Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of FlagPlus Football's First and Goal podcast. I'm your host, Brent Bodkin.
And I'm Quaysie Maule.
All right, so we kicked things off last week. Obviously, the first podcast of the brand new spring season. A lot of games have been played so far at all the different fields. And FPF, the weather is getting good, so obviously everyone is out there playing ball and enjoying it, myself included. So let's hop into it right away. Quasey's taking a quick break there already. Sometimes. It's really hot today, so we're going to try and get through this episode real quick. So we had a couple of fantastic finishes in Division B. One of those games I score kept. One of my candidates for Game of the Year was Capping Saint Boutin taking on Speed Academy. So that game took place Saturday down at Concordia, and I got to tell you, so Speed Academy got a 40-35 win, but I tell you, this game was not lacking fireworks at all. I'll go through some of the names. Obviously, Marc-Andre Reeves, a quarterback for Capping Saint-Boutin. Speed Academy, led by Emile Plan, right? So this is one of the teams I talked about last week in our episode where Speed Academy coming up from Division C now playing in Division B. And I tell you what, they proved they belong. They were really good. Like I knew some of the players from having played against this team last year in Division C. So like Felix, Derry, Bernard, impact player, Daryl Dorsley as well. Charles Verro, right? Solid guy, obviously one of the impact players on his team. Theo Clich was there as well. Nick Pierre Mas. So Oriel Laporia, obviously Concordia wide receiver. This guy, so looking at his stats, it says he only had one catch for 3 yards. I can tell you that he made an impact. He was all over the place. He led everybody with 8 tackles. He had a pass deflection. He caught a 2-point conversion as well for his team. He was all over the field, and I can tell you what, like he made a sick one-handed catch for the touchdown in the back of the end zone. This guy comes as advertised, right? I know this is not his first year in the league, but this is the first time I believe I've seen him in Division B. I could be wrong. I'll double check that after. The other side, obviously, with Capping Saint-Boutin. So, like I said, Marc-Andre Reeves, a leader, the captain of the team. Serge Pilon Jr., Hall of Famer, right? Denny Martel, Marvin Renault, Mickaël Faure, Mathieu Graton, like a lot of good guys who've been together, Gap Tour, for a couple of seasons, right? And this game went down to the wire, back and forth action. Marc-Andre had 4 TDs in the game. And Emile Plant had 6 TD passes. Like this game, well, that's the final play. Halftime it was a 22-20 lead for Speed Academy, winning 18-15 in the second half. But I'll tell you what, Capping Saint-Boutin, automatic controls after the game. They dropped at least one touchdown pass. They dropped a potential INT. This game again, it just came down to Speed Academy capitalizing on the trashes and how they won the game. Felix Derry Bernard had a 20-yard TD catch with about 3 plays left in the game. So he gave his team a 5-point lead. Capping Saint-Boutin had the ball back with 2 plays. Marc-Andre his search for a big 18-yard gain to get up and pick up a first down, obviously. But in the last play of the game, threw to the end zone. It was incomplete. He was rushed to his right, and he threw a ball at the back of the end zone, and no one really had a chance to catch from Capping Saint-Boutin. But again, this was just a back and forth game. A lot of big plays by both teams. And again, it was like okay. It was like watching a heavyweight fight, right? And these fighters were trading haymakers, trading big blows, and back and forth. And again, Speed Academy though getting the W. Like I said, 40-35 over Capping Saint-Boutin. But again, just a really exciting game to watch. And in my case, the score keep.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big game for Speed Academy, as you're kind of saying, a team that was in Division C, making the big jump into Division B and beating a team like Campbell it's a big win for them, right? Because I feel Campbell with the core that they usually have, so their main guys, it's like I feel like they're a bit better than a Division B team, but not as well, not the best for Division A. It's like if there was something in the middle, I think they would be perfectly like that would be
8.5,
that would be their division. But again, like it comes to a factor like if you fit in Division B, why not play in Division B, try to win a championship? But again, that's a big game for Speed Academy. Getting a win against a team like that, it starts something.
100%. I also want to give a shout out to Jimmy Monaris. I wrote in my article last week. I wrote the first article of the year for Division B, and I talked about the dynamic duo between Felix Derry Bernard, who I talked about against 3 touchdowns in the game, and then Jimmy Monaris. This guy, he had 2 catches for 54 yards and 1 touchdown, but I've seen this guy play, and he's a game changer. He's a definite game changer. And look, he started off this game. He did a 40. He did a go route, 40-yard goal, first play of the game. He caught a 40-yard touchdown to really set the tone for this game. So that's the guy we're gonna have to keep an eye on. Maybe potential All Star in this division again. Jimmy Ramirez. The other game for me, at least, that stood out in Division B was the Silent Ticklers and the Bruins. Again, two veteran teams. Silent Ticklers, of course, coming off a championship in the winter season, winning Division Two. Right, again, two teams that know each other extremely well, have played against each other in the regular season, have played against each other in the playoffs. Right, Jordan Panetta, Rocco Cristiano, they went back and forth trading big plays. So Christophe Vero was solid in that game, 4 catches, 92 yards, 2 TDs. But he was outdone by Tyson Otis Copeland, right? Tyson Otis Copeland, former defensive back for the Montreal Alouettes, had 9 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. And I had a chance to catch up with Juwan Etcher, who actually subbed on my team in Division C on Saturday. He was telling me himself, it was a back and forth game, a lot of big plays. They were giving us their best shot. We were giving them their best shot. And he goes, he ended the game basically. He caught a touchdown pass over Otis Copeland. Again, one of the top defenders in this league. Again, former professional, and the guy's at least 6'2", 6'3", I want to say. And Juwan Edgehill caught a 13-yard touchdown over Otis Copeland's head for the game-winning TD. And in fact, it wasn't thrown by Rocco Cristiano. It was actually thrown by Vero. So a bit of a trick play there for the Bruins to get the W. And for the Bruins, right, this is their first win in a while, right? If you go back, we talked about them obviously in Division Two last year, right? They're a team, I believe they lost the last 5 games of the regular season. For the last 4 games, I believe they lost obviously first round of the playoffs. They lost week 1, right? So it's about, I think, 6 losses in a row for this Bruins team. Again, finally getting up to Schneid as they knocked off the Silent Ticklers 31-26. And if you're the Bruins, they almost made it 2 wins in a row. They fell to hard 8, 33-31. One day later, also at Concordia.
Yeah, but yeah, you have to give some respect to the Bruins as well, right? Christopher Vero, he is technically a quarterback. Like he's played quarterback a lot, so making for the fact that he made that pass to Juwan, also former McGill receiver, like he's a stud, you know. So you gotta give the respect, even though Tyson's an amazing defender. I mean,
100%, yeah.
Ball thrown by a good quarterback, caught from a good receiver, you know. So that's still there. But no, big win for the Bruins. And I've talked shit about the Bruins from last season. I was so super surprised for the fact they went 5-0, and then they dropped the next 5. So they finished the season 5-5, and they got knocked out the first round of the playoffs, right? So I mean, I was surprised just because their roster, just because I feel like their roster is not the greatest, especially for the division that they were playing in. I feel like they could have had better names, maybe just 1 or 2 better guys on the roster. But you know, it worked out for how it worked out the first 5 weeks, and I think teams started not like understanding who they were. I just think their back schedule was a bit harder than their front schedule from last season. So for them to get a win here, I mean, it's, as you're kind of saying, it breaks a 6-game lose streak, and the fact that before you notice, I think a team like the Bruins, they can't have a bad start and go 0-3, right? They're 1-2. The fact that they're 1-2 is it's good, because I feel like if they're 0-3, it takes 1 or 2 more games. You go 0-5, and it becomes almost impossible to catch the rest of the pack. In Division B, there's 11 teams, right? 3 teams don't make it. Right now, we already have 3 teams that are 0-3. Ice Pack 0-3, Canada Brute 0-3, Norgard 0-2, and then you have KGP that's only played 1 game this season, but they're 0-1. If Bruins won other teams, if they end up losing that game, they also would have been 0. They would have been 0-3 as well, right? So I think a win, just that, even though it might not seem like it's a lot, it might come down to a huge win down the long stretch when we get to like week 8, week 9, where wins are going to be very hard to get and well needed.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, again, the season is far from over for these guys. Like looking at their schedule, right? I mean, they have Ice Pack, right? Another team that's struggling. They play Ice Pack this Sunday in Laval. And then they have Idaho Ute Pimps, and they have No Regard. So at least 2 out of the next 3 matchups for the Bruins, right, is against a bit of an easier part of the schedule. So let's see if they can take advantage of that and try to stack some more wins together.
Mhm.
Um, so that'll pretty much do it for Division B. Looking at so I know so I know like Quaysie and I obviously we score keep a lot of different fields. We score keep a lot of different games. I know myself personally, I score kept a lot of games Saturday in between playing, and then I score kept Tuesday in Brassard. So I know there's a lot of games that really stood out for myself. I imagine he's well crazy. I know we have a guest coming on in about 2 minutes or so, but I don't know from the games you score kept. At least we can start it off before we get the guest on. Anything that stood out for you in the games that you score kept?
So I actually didn't scorekeep any games this week or last
Oh,
week.
okay, all right, okay,
Yeah.
all
So
right,
no
okay, all right,
no games for me. I did ref some games
okay.
last week. I don't really remember. It was really last minute, so I can't really help you with no help with that, to be honest with
Okay. No worries, no worries. Okay, so I'll talk quickly. So I know we have a guest that's going to come on in about a minute. One of the games I scored cat was a co-ed 3 game this past Tuesday night in Brassard. So it was Le Moy Moo against Fly Me Daddy. So Felix Boutte, right? One of the top receivers in all of FPF. We've talked about him for the last couple of seasons, rightfully so, right? Some people would even say the top receiver in FPF right now. So he came out to sub for Lemoyne Moo, and he actually came onto the field and played quarterback. I've never seen him throw before, but he's super athletic, so you kind of imagine maybe he can. Yeah, not so much. He came onto the field, and it was just like he. To his credit, I think he realized like he threw a couple of passes. I don't. I'm just gonna double check now to see if he actually got a completion. I don't think he did,
you.
to be honest with you. I'm just gonna double check this now. Again,
No, he
they're
didn't.
taking on Flag Me Daddy again, like I said, this past Tuesday in Brassard, and it was just like he came late. So he came just before halftime. I think he came maybe about 5 minutes before halftime. You know, stuff happens. That's fine. And he got onto the field and he started throwing some balls, and I was like, okay, here we go. I expect some big things again. He's super athletic. He's fast, right? He could dodge a rusher, and it's just yeah, it just was not good at all. He struggled throwing the ball. And it didn't work out well. So then he goes back to his natural receiving spot, and then like I'm looking at it here, I don't think he got a catch.
He doesn't
Yeah, he
show it.
didn't get a single catch in the game, and I was surprised to see it. He had one rush for 4 yards. Um, he as a defender, I've seen him play defense. Is he like the top guy in whatever division he plays in? No, but he has the speed and he has the football knowledge. Yeah, he got burnt. He got burnt for a touchdown, and not just burnt. He got burnt badly actually for a TD. It was Simon Lacroix. Just ran by him with like very little hesitation. Just burnt him and he scored a touchdown. And I was just surprised because when I was talking to one of the players on the team, I believe her name was Alexandra Jaguer. She's like, "Yeah, we have one more guy that's a sub." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Who is it?" She's like, "Felix Boutte." And there was kind of a pause in my head. I'm like, could this be like Felix Boutte, or maybe some other Felix Boutte? I don't know. But I gave it the benefit of the doubt. So when he came and I saw when he finally got there, okay, it's Felix Boutte. And I was like, okay. At that time, it was 13 to 12. They were up 13 to 12. And I was like, okay, here we go. He's going to take over and they'll get the W. Yeah, they got shut out in the second half. They got outscored 20 to nothing. Flag Me Daddy, I came away impressed. Simon Lacroix had a huge game. There was a girl who came. She was a sub. It was her first time playing with that team. She told me, Lily Rose Brunet. She's about I want to say maybe 5'10", 5'11", and she could run. Like she's long and she's fast. She made a number of big plays, and there's a lot of like team ball. Like Luca Rel was a Rel, pardon me, was a quarterback. He made some pretty big throws. There was a couple of players. There was Alexi Diot, who was a defensive back. He made a no. He got an INT. There was I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Elari Hernandez. I apologize. She made an impact. Angelique Rodriguez. She made an impact. Like pretty much everybody that touched the field. Olivier Falach as well. Daphne Montillon. There's Maxence Saint Gelais, the big man. Willette. And long story short, anyone that came onto the field for Flag Me Daddy, and their roster was deep. Everyone made a play and they won
Yeah.
32 to 13. I
Yeah.
came way impressed with this game and some of the
But
athletes, both male and female, on this squad.
that roster is literally combined with guys that either played football, like tackle football, that are currently playing tackle football, and I'm pretty sure all the girls also play flag as well. The girl Lily Rose is actually a current player at Edouard Petit
Okay,
for the
makes
flag
sense.
team, who's a receiver. Yeah, she is tall. Like I helped Tam coach there and here and there, and she plays offense and defense. And whenever I'm standing next to her, like I'm kind of looking up. So
Yeah, yeah,
she's tall and she's a great receiver as well too. So I'm not surprised. To be honest with you, some people don't realize like it is co-ed 3, but if you're able to just assimilate a good amount of athletes, like sometimes you'll win games just being more athletic, and then sometimes it bites
yeah.
you. Sometimes it bites you in like the ass and like that because then you're such a good athletic team that you play a team that's so much better in flag, and then that's probably the difference between losing a game and winning a game. Because Flag Me Dag is right now they're 1-2, right? So
Yeah.
they got a huge game against Mo, and then they have 2 loss versus let's look at their schedule here. They have a loss versus for some reason why it never. Yes, they have a loss versus Michael Scott Tots. Was again that's a pretty
Yeah,
good
veteran
team.
squad. Yeah.
And then they played versus Les Mots, Les Mots, La Moi, Le Flag,
Okay.
LYS, Moi, Le Flag, and they lost 40-2 there. So I mean, but sometimes if you're just more athletic than the team, you're good. It seems like this team is from Team Quebec with their single and their jerseys. So I mean, that's probably a really good team as well.
Yes, I came away impressed, and see what happens for them coming up next. So we have a couple other games we'll get to, but I know we have a guest we want to get to right now who's taking some time out of his work schedule to join us here. So he's a guy who started off with Win Diesel back in 2023. Now Win Diesel's taking a break this year, so he's playing with the Cam Wins in Division F, as well as the Fatties in Co-Ed 3. He's also sub with KGP Dynasty in Division B and Mangoose in Division C. I don't think I'm leaving out any of the teams here. Speaking about Oscar Mccavour. So Oscar, welcome to the show, sir. I'm doing good. I can't hear you right now, but hopefully still can't hear him.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you guys at home could see him. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's nice. Okay, so we'll fix it. I know you guys can see Oscar. Again, so he's with Division F, right? With the Cam Wins. Obviously, Division F is one of the new divisions here in FPF. He's a starting quarterback. Pretty solid season so far. 380 yards, 10 TD passes, completing 56% of his passes. So solid job by him and his team. Again, like I said, they're 3-0 right now in Division F. Just looking quickly here at the standings, actually, for Division F. So there's 3 teams that are 3-0. Well, sorry, 4 teams, I should say. Pardon me. So Cam Wins, like I said. There's also TGs, Sweet Bonanza. I'm going to get to them in a few minutes because I scored kept 3 game on Tuesday, and the Baby Sharks. So those are kind of leading the herd right now in Division F. Of course, the newest division here in FPF. There's 22 teams in total in this division, and looking at it, top 16 out of those 22 make the playoffs. So right now, again, Cam Wins at 3-0. They put themselves in a driver's seat, so to speak, with those 3 other teams who are sitting at 3-0 right now. Uh, oh, talk again. I think we could hear you. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So you
Yeah,
know what? So
Division F.
I was gonna
Division
say,
F.
sorry.
Go ahead. No, I
I
was
was
gonna say
gonna say,
that there's 22 teams. And, that's pretty much it.
yeah. Okay. So you know what we should do then? Okay. So while we wait to get this whole audio situation straight out, let's finish off some of the games that I score kept that stood out to me. Just going back for a second. So going for co-ed 2. So I got the score keep a game. It was the rookies against Easy Fun. So obviously Easy Fun is like a sub team of ECW, and usually they play the Division 1 or Division A. Uh, yeah, I came away super impressed with. I saw some of the guys, right? So it's Jean-Christophe Ferland, Blade, there's a bunch of guys who were playing for ECW for a long time, right? So I figured, okay, they're going to tear this team apart. Yeah, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. The rookies just had their way with ECW. Like they were shredding them both sides of the ball, male and female. It's not one of those things where it's just a couple of ladies on the team just for the sake of having some girls on the team. No, the girls were balling as well. Yeah, the quarterback for the rookies, again, it's a co-ed 2 team. The quarterback for the rookies was Cedric Maurice. I had heard the name before, and I feel like I've seen him play, but I couldn't remember where. And so I started scorekeeping the game, and I was like, play after play after play, big throw, another big throw. He was sometimes running out, throwing off his back foot, like just before the sideline, getting rid of the ball. But he was accurate. He was accurate the majority of the game. And I came away like, wow, okay, this team put me on notice, and I think they're putting this division on notice because they were just they were strong. Like they look really really good. So I'm just trying to find some. Sorry. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so I'll finish this off quick. Yeah, yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you now. Okay, so let's finish my thought. Anyways, we'll get back to that after with the rookies. All right, so Oscar, welcome to the show, sir.
Technical difficulties, but got that sorted out.
No worries, no worries. All right, man. So like I said before, you're the quarterback in Division F for the team. The Cam wins. You guys are 3-0. Pretty solid season. Pretty solid stats for you guys so far. Again, you're one of the top quarterbacks in this division. I remember seeing you play the last couple of seasons with Win Diesel. I've never seen you play quarterback before, but I can't lie. From watching you play, I'm pretty impressed so far. Why'd you decide to play QB?
So I've got a bunch of guys from high school that I'm still very close with, some of my closer friends, and they've never played football. They're not football guys, soccer players, hockey players, basketball guys, golfers, and one of them started playing flag with the fatties in the winter, and then approached me and said, we should do a team with our buddies. I said, you know what, that's a good idea. So we started that. I've played quite a bit of flag, and I have a very long tenure in football. So I didn't want to play receiver because I know it's Division F, and it's not. You don't want guys who are experienced in that division. You kind of a bit newer. So I've never really played quarterback. I mean, I was the technical backup in high school, but never saw the field. I really played receiver. So I said, you know what? I'll play quarterback. You guys play receivers. I don't know what I'm doing throwing the ball. You guys don't know what you're doing at receiver. It'll be a good time. We'll have some fun.
It's okay. All right, where'd you play high school ball?
I played at Selwyn House. I played,
Okay, nice.
and I've actually played with most of the Win Diesel guys.
Okay, nice. I was gonna ask you about the Win. Okay, so the Win Diesel guys, obviously, like Will, the Seabag brothers,
Yeah.
Gray DePatty, Marcus Lynch, those guys. So obviously, you guys aren't playing this season in the spring season. How come you decided to take the year off?
We tend to not do a flag team in the spring season because too many of us are traveling. We're not around for long enough. With the games that are as consistent as they are, we chose that it's easier for us to all play in fall, winter, and take the summer off.
Okay. I mean, so far it looks like a pretty solid choice for you. You mentioned obviously the Fatties in Co-ed 3. You guys right now one of the I want to say a veteran team, but you have a little bit of experience
Yeah.
on that team, like besides yourself. What in your opinion has been kind of the key to your success in both with the Cam wins in Div F and in Co-ed 3 with the Fatties?
I think that honestly the most important thing is keep it simple. Like I find that when I play quarterback, I'm ready for that deep ball. You get those posts, you get goes, you get corners, keep them skinny. You want to launch it, but people play 15 yards over the top, and it's really hard to make those plays. Keep it simple, hooks, 5 yards, get some momentum, and start to build the game up, get your confidence up in both the receiver's hands and in the quarterback's throwing. And after you've got that going, then you can start to really hammer the games out. And I think that making sure that as the quarterback, so for myself, when on the Cam Wins team, and also Sam, which I'm sure you guys know on our Fatties team, he does a really good job at kind of, okay, what's the route? Okay, this is the route. This is how you run it. Keep it simple. Explain it well. In the huddle, we get out there, execute properly, and, try to put points on the board.
All right, nice. So I said earlier, obviously you subbed a couple of times this year already, right? You subbed with Mengus in Division C, you subbed with KGP Dynasty in Division B. I think I scored kept that game actually.
Yeah,
You were playing actually you played against Quaysie.
I
You
did.
were playing
Yeah,
against Quaysie in week
yeah,
one with against Tarde, right? Quaysie?
yeah, yeah.
Tarde? Yeah, yeah, with Tarde. Um besides blowing by Quaysie when you cover now, I'm joking. Um obviously speed's the name of the game for you, right? That's
Yeah,
one of the biggest things to your repertoire.
yeah.
Uh, obviously Quasey's one of the fastest guys in FPF. Well, where would you place yourself? Again, there's a zillion players, right? Female and male. Where would you place yourself in terms of the speed category? Like, how do you think you're part of one of the top
No,
guys, or
I
where would you
mean,
say you are?
FPF is such a big. It's the biggest, one of the biggest flag leagues, out there, and there's so many great guys. It's hard to put myself at the top, but it's definitely one of the attributes that I will say helps me with my success in football. So I put myself on the higher end, but I know there's some real afterburners on some of these guys. They pick up and they go like crazy.
Okay, okay. Quasey, you want to ask anything?
Yeah, so I was kind of looking at your profile, which is kind of impressive. I had here, then I went back to my KGP. Give me 1 second. Brent, asking her question. I'm coming back.
No worries. Okay, so obviously from watching you play on the field, right? So you were talking to me on Tuesday, right? You were like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I know you made a joke. Oh, you should put me on the podcast after you made a big play." From one thing though, I'm gathering from watching you play is you're having a lot of fun. Is that safe to say? Like you're having a lot of
Yeah,
fun
yeah, for
playing?
sure. I mean, when I was playing in high school, we didn't have my high school's not a big school. We got like a couple hundred kids in the whole place. So the football
Yeah.
team was like 30 guys, 35 when I was there. It's gotten bigger, but when I was there, and you played two ways. Some of the Bartholomew Uge, who plays on the Win Diesel team, he was a six-way player. Guy never came off the field. He was a
Wow. Okay.
punter, kicker, punt returner, kick returner, defender, offensive guy. Like and after a while, your body kind of takes a lot of beating, and I needed a break, but then FPF was great because it gave me the chance to come back and kind of start to fall. I mean, I always loved watching it, but playing it was hard. You hurt my knee, so took some time off. But I've been able to come back and I've really had a lot of fun. Just get out there once a week, run a little bit, throw, catch. It's a good time.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm back. Okay, so looking at your career record, so you've played 81 games. Out of your 81 games, you've won 62 and lost 19. Do you know how impressive that is to have that to like start your FBF career?
Yeah, when we play on the Win Diesel team, we've been playing it together a long time. A lot of us on that team started together in grade 7 playing football and kind of have been playing through. We didn't all play together in Cégep for those 2-3 years there, but kind of came back together. So we're all know each other. We've got a lot of chemistry, and when we go on the field, we know what each other what routes we like to run, what we like to throw, and we just go out and have a good time. And that's the name of the game. When you go out there and you're too stressed, you start making mistakes, you press too hard. You just take it easy, have fun, and let the football plays happen.
And it seems like you guys translate that in playoffs as well too, because your current playoffs is 18 wins and 4 losses.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty damn good. A lot of teams it's usually one and done or they don't make it that far, but it seems like you guys have great seasons. I think when Diesel usually guys go 8-2, 9-1, maybe you guys went 10-0 one season.
Yeah.
But it's very close to that, and usually you guys are not a team that gets knocked out in the first round of playoffs. You guys make a pretty deep run. So I mean, that's pretty. I was kind of just looking at it's pretty impressive because I know people complain. They're like, "Oh, my career record is so bad. I'm above 500. You're well above that." And then a lot of people don't even make a second round appearance or even win a championship. So I mean, you're starting off pretty damn well.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I'm lucky to be on a team where we've got guys who are as talented as they are. I mean, Will Seabag, you guys know him well. He's fantastic quarterback. Guy throws a wicked football, and that's one of the key successes. You get a good quarterback in FPF, you're gonna have a good team. And that's I've been on a lot of different teams, and tell you what, that's the name of the game. So being on Win Diesel has just been awesome, and we do our best. I like the shirts a lot. It's fun to get a shirt that says champion on it. You got one white, one black. So we'll see if they bring in any more colors and kind of keep going from there.
Nice. Um, just wanted to ask you. So I'm just going back actually. So I know I was kind of joking before when I said that you tore Quaysie, but looking at your stats in that game, man, in Division B, I mean, you kind of led KGP Dynasty in receiving. You had 3 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
You had an INT as well. I don't know. I think you might have got by Quaysie maybe once or twice there.
I think
Nah,
he
he was on
did.
the other side of the field.
I think you did. I think you did catch one coming from the other side, though. I'm pretty sure you did.
I caught a pick coming across.
No, I mean a touchdown. I think.
Oh, maybe I might have been me
Even
or
though-
Felix.
Even though it's I'm on the other side, we play a lot of coverages where guys are always shooting.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure you probably made a catch.
Yeah, but it was fun. I had a good time. I mean, I've never played a game in Division B, like a division that high before, so it was interesting to see what the competition's like and what the players are like, and you find out very fast to go from tackle football to flag football. There's a difference, and you gotta learn it fast.
Yeah, no, for sure. It goes both ways for players like me as well too, because I play such a high level where I don't get the I'm not able to play versus other good players in different divisions because they don't play Division A, Division B. So when I get a chance to play versus other players, it's cool, because I score keep or whatever. I talk about them. I'm just like, I never actually got to play against them. So when I get to play against you guys, it's fun.
You bring up a good point, both you guys. So I mean, obviously, you're talking about making that transition from tackle to flag. All three of us have done that. How long did it take you to get comfortable with flag and to realize, okay, you know what, I can really do this and be an impact player?
It took a full season. I'll be like that first season I came in, the fall of 2023, I think it was. I remember just catching a ball, turning around, and diving down, like getting into a trucking position, protect the ball, and guys are flying at you, ready to pull your flags out. I just take one step, put my shoulder down, flag comes out. I'm like, oh, charging. It's on me? What? Oh, okay, I have to let the defender run at you. You just have to let him, and if he hits you, that's what it is. So those kind of adjustments, not protecting your body, trusting that, everything that people are going for the flags, and I mean, big hits will happen. It's normal, but it did take me really a full season to adjust to it.
Okay. Looking at your upcoming schedule, at least for Camwins, you guys have the Devious Dogs next Tuesday in Brassard. So I might be scorekeeping your game again this coming week. Any insights to the game? Any keys to get the W for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a bit of the scores look good in the Camwins on the FPF website, but a lot of the guys that we signed up for the roster haven't had a chance to come out yet. Just conflicting schedules and whatnot, which is totally normal. So a lot of subs that have been doing a really good job, but I'm hoping that this week more of my guys will be able to be out there and we'll be able to kind of see what the team's really like with its full roster. For us, again, just going to keep it the same as it is. Keep it simple. Try not to do too much. Don't put yourself in trouble. Keep the ball out of the other team's hands. Don't throw too many picks. And we're just, we're going to go out there and honestly have a good time, have fun.
All right. And I see here, so obviously with Fatties, by score capture game, you guys lost 27-20 to Phantom Troop. You guys are back at it, though, this coming Saturday against the veteran squad. I shall be there for that game as well. Against Michael Scott's Tots. What kind of game are you expecting from them?
I listened to the first episode. I heard Michael Scott's Tots are a pretty high-end team. So that'll be a very interesting game. I'm expecting some pretty good football. And we're just we got good players on the Fatties. I mean, Sam's really a seasoned vet in flag, and he's super athletic. There's also other good guys, Peter, Vaughn. We've got great girls as well who really know what they're doing. So I'm just gonna go out there and play good football, and kind of let the score fall as it does.
Okay, nice. Yeah, shout out to Vaughn, shout out to Peter. Peter's a good dude, played on my team last spring. Shout out to Sam. Sam, little Jordan Love. He was talking smack to me about talking about how his Packers are going to be my Niners this season. I'm like, you worry about your game, buddy. And he proceeded to throw some picks. And he looked very Jordan Love-esque in that loss. And I'm going to put that loss for you guys against Phantom Troop all on the shoulders of Sam for talking all that trash and getting sacked about 5-6 times in that game. Good job, Sam. Good job. All right, I'm just playing.
No, that's good.
All right, Oscar, listen, man, thank you for coming on. I really
Thanks for
appreciate it,
having
man.
me. Thank you.
Best of luck going forward the rest of the season,
Yeah.
man. And anytime you want to come back on the pod, let us know and we'll have you on, man.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot for the time, guys.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Bye, Vanessa.
All right, so that was Oscar Mccavour, again from the Fatties, from Cam Wins, obviously of Win Diesel, of course. So big thanks to him for coming on to the show and just talking some ball. We have another guest coming up. Okay, so Ali Rez is telling us to wait about 20 seconds, so I'll do the intro now. So we have another guest coming up from Division B, Jason Reyes, quarterback of Les Petits Carrots. I've had a chance to play against this guy a couple of times in Division C. Phenomenal player. Again, the Petit Carrots, again, great season last year in the winter season, and then coming back now, moving up to Division B here in the spring. The leader of the squad, again, Jason Reyes coming on the show. Again, good Division B team. Right now, I believe they're sitting at 2-1, if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check the standings here. You have 2-1 in the standings here for Division B. So, Jason, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Chris, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All
All right,
right.
so-
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I think there was a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. No, I was just giving you an introduction, saying who you play for and that, and saying welcome to the show. So again, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, thanks for coming on, man. So let's hop into it, man. You're playing now. You've been part of FPF since 2020, so it's been a while. You're back leading the Le Petit Carrots. Now you guys are up in Division B this season, really doing some big things. Like I said, so far you guys are 2-1. Just looking at your records so far, I know you guys beat No Regard to start off the season. Close loss to Hard Eight to finish off week 1, and then this past week you were victorious as you guys knocked off Ice Pack. So a big W for you guys, beating Ice Pack by a score, blowing them out really 34-12 in that game. Just looking at the game summary right here, I mean, you're out of here pretty solid. You went 21-28, 174 yards, 5 TD passes in that game. Just talk about Les Petits Carrots. I remember when you guys first got into the league a couple years ago, calling your games in some of the lower divisions, like for finals weekend, and you guys are starting to put some wins together, put some championships together, and now you guys have done the kind of the organic, natural path of going from the bottom and moving your way up. Just talk about Les Petits Carrots, man. Like, why have you guys been so successful pretty much in every division you've been in?
Yeah. Well, we started at the bottom of the leagues in Division E first. Really had no clue about flag football. We were at first it was a bunch of guys that played hockey first, and then a couple of my friends from Champlain were playing RSEQ, and they kind of finished their university seasons, and they came back to play with us. So we kind of got better as a team from players, and we learned through the divisions how to play better flag football, because I heard a little bit about your other discussion before. It's a very big adaptation between tackle football and flag, but yeah, slow and steady grind, and now I think we're understanding the game better, and I think found some success in the higher divisions.
Nice. Yeah, so some of the guys I believe that played for Champlain, guys, Michael Fafar, Zach Cloutier. You guys have done a really good job, I find, of kind of having, even going back to guys like Xavier Bro, right? Kind of having your own kind of crew. But then over the last couple of years, you add like a Felix Boutet. I even see here you had Nick DeMalo has played a couple games for you guys as well. When you bring some of these bigger name players onto your team, how are you so effective at just kind of having them kind of blend in together with everybody else?
Yeah, well, of course, we always have like we have a small group that is always there. You know, Zachary Cloutier, Xavier Bro, Mccavour, like you said, Laurent Beauchamp also. I think those 5 guys are there on every team since 2021, something like that. And so it's really easy because when there's new players that come in, well, we already have like I can almost say at that point a solid culture. Like we know what we have to do to win games. We also have a great relationship all together. We're friends. We've been friends since like we're really young. We played like junior football, pee-wee football together in our hometown. So when a player comes to our team, well, we already have like that fun team spirit. So it's pretty easy for them to join in. And also, I think the fact that we're so close, it's so easy for us to like talk about it in the car rides, talk about our defense, our schemes. How can we like cover some concepts? So I think that has been a big part of how our team has gotten where we are now in Division B, starting from Division E. Yeah.
Okay. I know last season you guys won Division C. You guys beat LeBron Charge. You actually blew out LeBron Charge 36, pardon me, to 13, which is, I guess, one of the reasons why you made the jump now to Division B. This past winter, I believe it is Phil Pelletier, right? Another former Champlain Cavalier. He was the quarterback of the team in the winter season. How come you weren't able to play this past winter?
This past winter, I think we've played this last winter in Division Three. No,
Oh, sorry, okay, my bad. Sorry, Division 2. You're right. Sorry.
you're talking about like the last winter, like just before spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a bad loss in the quarterfinals. We
Okay. Right. Right.
we
Right. Right.
Yeah, we had to finish the game at 5 against 6. Sadly for us, we were 9-1, so we had a great team this winter. But yeah,
Okay.
Philippe
My
Pelletier
apologies.
did it. No worries. Yeah, Philippe Pelletier had a great team also in Division B, I think, with a couple guys from Champlain as well.
Yeah, yeah, okay, exactly. That's where I got mistaken. You're right. You're right. I'm
Yeah, there
seeing it
you
right
go.
here. Yeah, you guys did play C. My apologies.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. No worries.
You guys have a big game this Saturday against Speed Academy. So Speed Academy, of course, another team,
Mhm.
Division C last year, making a jump to Division B. What kind of game are you expecting against Speed Academy this Saturday?
Yeah, we've had I think 2 games against them already. They're a great team. Usually these are more offensive games. I think converts are going to be really important in these games. We've had success so far this season in our converts. A lot of guys can throw the ball, so that's pretty fun. I think that's going to be the key against them because they have a really fast team. Still remember my first game against them. I got beat pretty bad on a deep ball, so we'll be ready this time. But
Nice.
yeah, I
Okay.
think converts.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Um, so I'm just looking at your stats right here, right? So I mean, obviously you're the starting quarterback. But I know, so I had asked you to send me some highlight stuff, and I saw I was looking at the highlight stuff before I sent it off to our producer, Ali Reza, right? I mean, you've made some plays the last couple of years on defense. So I think I remember playing you in the playoffs 2 years ago, in Division
Mhm.
C, and I think I don't I think you might have rushed as well as played quarterback if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yeah.
and it's
Uh,
playing defense in general is that something you like doing, or just you kind of
yeah.
do it out of necessity, or
No, I play. I like to play around. I've was quarterback since I got here, but as a football player, I was a DB first. So to be honest, I feel like I'm more of a natural DB than a quarterback. I kind of had to learn into playing quarterback, but yeah, I definitely love playing defense always, and I like to play receiver as well. I haven't gotten the chance much, but for sure, I think I'm more natural DB than a quarterback. Yeah,
oh, okay,
but
okay,
yeah.
okay, nice.
But this year, I think we added a couple of studs, so I'm gonna leave my place on defense to them for this year.
Okay, okay. Nice.
Yeah,
So, I'm
Nick
sorry.
Timalo is sorry,
Yeah.
I was about to say
No,
Nick
no, go.
Timalo is a great number 3 on defense. Pretty
Yeah,
fun to play
yeah,
with him.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Nick's a solid guy, and he's definitely a good player. I think Nick's one of the more underrated players in all of FPF. Like he's starting out to play higher divisions last couple seasons, but he's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, I think so too. I played against him as a quarterback, and I absolutely hated when he was number 3 deep. He covered a lot of ground, so definitely where we put him this year.
Is he?
Yeah. So, my question. Well, I have a few questions. My first one: why did you guys put the name Les Petites Carats? Where did that
Yeah.
come from?
I think at first we were like looking for a name, brainstorming stuff, and we wanted something a little bit silly, I think, at first. And then I think it's exactly Maule came up with that. We thought that it would be absolutely not fun to lose against a team called Les Petites Carottes because it looks so innocent. So that's how we ended up choosing Les Petites Carottes as our name. But yeah, nothing really significant about that.
My next question for you is also: so you guys have been having a pretty insane career season with your basically your franchise, I would say. You guys started in Division E, made your way to 5A, 4A, then 3, and then C, and then B, and now you guys are in B. Do you feel, since you played 3 games, do you feel a different? I know also some teams in C also make a jump to B, as you said, Speed Academy, but some of the teams you did play. So you played versus my team, Hard Eight, where I think the base guys we have on the roster are all Division B and A guy, and are Division B and A players. You guys also played Ice Pack and No Regard. Again, No Regard's a team that's been struggling a bit, but they're also Division A, Division B players. Do you feel a difference from Division C or Division B, or do you feel like it's the same, especially for you as a quarterback, where I feel like when you're playing in better divisions, defenses kind of run different schemes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest challenge is definitely opposing defense. I think guys know what they're doing, more aggressive, I think, up front. So you have to get some balls like more in I'd say, the middle part of the field. Usually in Division C or lower divisions was pretty more like straightforward read, like your first option is usually open, or worst case your second. But I feel like you have to force a bit more balls. Uh, but I think it's been going pretty well. I have also played a little bit in the Tier 2 at some point in the fall, Les Monsieur Chat, very briefly. I've thrown a little bit, but that went really bad. But I think since then, I got better at understanding defenses. So for sure, it's been a challenge still, but I think I'm adapting pretty well right now to. But for sure, some tighter throws to do definitely against your team. Had a couple of mistakes against you, Quaysie. Actually, a nice pick six at the end of the game.
Yeah, I got it. I got to add one to my career record. I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Never saw you coming. Yeah, but I think it's gonna be an adaptation still. But I think by the end of the season we should be in a good shape.
Yeah, well, it seems like you guys are 2-1. I feel like your schedule is gonna get a bit harder. I think the back end, no regard, is not the best, the greatest teams. They also they dropped down. Ice Pack, I have no clue who that is. But like going down the stretch, Speed Academy, Silent Ticklers, KGP, Bruins, Idaho, FPF Most Wanted, and then you have Campe Sans Butin. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm happy that you guys made that jump. I feel like a lot of teams avoid it and they try to stay in certain divisions for as long as possible until they can, or it's like until they're enough people are kind of calling them out. So the fact that you guys kind of made that jump, especially losing in the winter in the quarters, I think you guys got knocked out.
Yeah,
But I know sometimes people use it as an excuse, like, "Oh, we lost this, so we're not champions, so we're gonna just go play Division C, and win it there, and then we'll see what happens next winter." So I'm kind of happy that you guys made that jump, and also it's nice to play versus new faces, like especially for a player like me playing in Division A, and then sometimes I move on to B depending who's on the team. But I never played versus you guys before. Like even when I was playing maybe I played you guys when I was playing with the Brotherhood in Division C, but I don't remember as much. But it's nice to see different faces, different quarterbacks, and just different players.
yeah. What did you think about us? Do you think we'll be competitive?
Well, I did, yeah. I've watched you guys play for a while, so you guys are always one of the top teams, and I also feel like your core stays the same. I think that's the hardest thing to do in a lot of teams is when you bring a team up to when you start so high, Division F, Division E, or 6, a lot of core players that you want to bring along with you play in better divisions. So it's hard to take players from different teams, but you guys are a core. You guys started with the same players, and no one has played in like Division B. So you guys stayed. It would have been harder for you guys if you guys were playing in 4 and 2 of your players already were playing in B. Or sorry, 2. And then when you wanted to make that transition of going to 2, you couldn't because you lost those 2 players. So I think chemistry is one of the biggest things. And I feel like with you guys, because you guys have been playing with the core, like you guys have your core 5, 6 guys for so long, that's like the biggest step in playing in better divisions.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
But okay, so I know you were asking Quaysie about if you think so. Will you guys be competitive? I mean, I believe so as well. But I mean, if everything, again, it is a transition from going from C to B. But if so far so good, right? 2-1 on the season is a pretty good record, right? It's definitely better than 1-2 and 0-3. With the trend and just over the history of Le Petit Carrot, right? Chances are you guys are going to be in the playoffs and be able to make a run, right? You maybe we'll play Quaysie in Heart 8 once again. What do you think your chances are right now of making a championship and not just making a championship, but winning a championship in this division? Because, of course, that is the ultimate goal, right?
Yeah, I think it will definitely be a challenge, but well, from now, since the beginning of the season, I haven't been like too, how can I say it? It hasn't been too bad, I think. Let's put it that way. Like we feel confident. Everyone's playing great. I also feel like our team is really deep. A lot of our guys. Like Zachary Coutier, Mccavour, Xavier Bro could all be like number one receiver. I feel like in any given team, having all of them together, I feel like we have a deep enough roster for sure to be competitive. I don't see why we could not. I'm not saying we will win, but I don't see why we wouldn't have a chance for sure.
Let's see some confidence. You can say we will win. You can make that statement right here. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy, Jason. Come on
Definitely
now.
think we can win. We have what it takes to win for sure.
Okay, nice. How much fun personally? How much fun are you having right now playing with your buddies and playing with Le Petit Carrot?
Yeah, I think it's the reason why I think we're doing so well, like we said. But yeah, definitely having a great time. You know, we have. I mean, all of these guys are my friends off the field. So I mean, we see each other every night. So I think there's something about competing with your friends that's really great. Um, I think definitely love to have them with me. I don't think I would like it as much if it wasn't with those guys for sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
100%
nice.
agree. When especially that you're all your own friends, you guys are having fun. That's the
Yeah,
point of it, right? If you're not having fun, like why do it?
yeah. And I
Unless you're
think
super competitive, but I mean, like it's so much better when you're playing with your childhood friends, guys who've been playing forever, winning games, losing games, just challenging yourself, and
yeah.
it's something you guys are all doing together. So
Yeah, and I think it's even fun for like people who join our team and that are there since the beginning. Like they see that chemistry and they get into it, and yeah, everybody's having a blast.
Nice. Who again since you've been friends with these guys for a long time, like your whole crew, who like so looking at your team, like trying to get to know some of the personalities, like who's the joker on your team? Who's the guy that takes himself too serious? Like tell us about your teammates.
Yeah. I think Zach is definitely a joker. Zachary Cloutier, a bit of a sarcastic guy. He likes to make fun of you a little bit here and there. Xavier Ball's more of I'd say a calm presence. Always does his job, but like I'd say a leader by example. I call him like that. Félix Boutet, I call him. I don't know how to say it in English, but I'll say it in French. Say une vedette. He's our superstar. Let's call him that way.
Yeah.
Acts like it. Is it actually? Who else am I forgetting? The other guys, I don't know. Everybody's having fun. And I don't know about the other guys, how I could describe them, but all great guys, all competitive guys also. I think that's what makes our team good is like everybody hates to lose. Like we're not having as much fun when we lose. Let's put it that way. Like the car rides get a little bit boring and long.
Where are you guys from? What? Because you said you
South
guys.
Shore of
Because you guys said you guys played Seville. You played high school or Seville?
Civil.
Where did you guys play?
Yeah, we're all from Boucherville, the Grizzlies.
Okay, you guys played for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, almost all of us, I think, except for the new guys. But I'm talking about the core five. The only guy that hasn't played football is Laurent Beauchamp. He's a hockey player who started flag out of nowhere and is pretty good at it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Because I'm from the South Shore too. I played for Greenfield back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're a bit older than me, maybe. So I don't think we've played against
Yeah,
each other.
we definitely didn't cross paths, but
Yeah.
I get the concept of playing with your friends from Seville. Like again, a lot of my friends didn't translate to flag. I think they kind of missed the opportunity. But I mean, if flag was kind of as big as it was when I was your age, just to say, like I feel like I would have still been with all my friends playing
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah, it's a fun way to keep football going because maybe we would have to stop after that if it wasn't for this league who has gotten pretty big. Yeah.
Obviously, like we said earlier, right? You guys have won some championships together. You're having a lot of fun. You're playing with your buddies. Are there any other goals you have left to accomplish here in FPF?
I guess at some point maybe going to Division A. Not now, but at some point. Why not?
All right. I fully agree. I fully agree. And like Quaysie said before, like we appreciate the fact that you guys aren't division dodging. Some teams in this league will division dodge. Really happy you guys aren't one of those teams. And I'm also happy I don't have to see you guys anymore because I'm still mad about you guys beating us in the playoffs 2 summers ago.
That
I
was
have it right
a
here on my
good
screen.
game.
I was looking it up. It's like 36-32. Yeah, we had your buddy there, Stephen Quaysie, was
Yeah,
playing quarterback for us. And yeah, those interceptions really killed us. But it is what it is. You guys were the better team and you guys got the W. So congrats
yeah,
to you guys. And congrats to all the success you guys have had so far in this spring season right here.
yeah. Thank you very much. We'll keep that going.
All right, man. All right. So Jason, man, I just want to say thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate your time. And again, best of luck the rest of the season. And we'll definitely see you guys throughout the regular season and for sure in the playoffs. Maybe the finals.
Yeah, of
Maybe the
course,
finals if Quaysie's not playing against you. Maybe Quaysie and I be calling your game if you guys make it there. I'm just saying.
of course, of course. Be ready for that.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
All right, see you guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, so that was Jason Reyes again, quarterback from Liberty Carrot. Stand-up guy. I've never really had a chance to really meet him for today. Obviously, talked to him ahead of time to come on to the pod, but good dude, good dude for
Again,
sure.
a lot of these guys, like other than scorekeeping or talking about talking to them on the podcast, it's something like sometimes you talk to someone here and there, or they'll stop you, or you have a little conversation. But I don't think I ever talked to him in my whole life. But again, I got to play against him. I did get a pick 6 on him, so I do appreciate that.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, he's not the only one, so I don't want him to feel too bad about it. But no, it was a good game.
He has a whole list.
I'm like Thanos when I have all my rigs, but it just keeps going. But no, it was. I'm happy. I'm happy that they made the jump. It's the point where it's like I feel like they were one of the top teams for a while now, and in every single division. And I also feel like if you're going 8-2 or 9-1 or 7-3, or if you're going positive every single season, and maybe you're not winning a championship, it's to a point, just make the jump and just get better, right? You're not going to get better playing versus weaker opponents where teams are making a jump from Division 4, they're going to 3, and you're just playing those teams and you're giving them a beat down, and they're headed like, oh, maybe we should have made this jump. Why are we playing versus a team like this? Like it becomes it's a domino effect, right? You kind of want every team to kind of make a jump when you should. some teams make a jump when they shouldn't make a jump, and then that's a whole different situation. But some teams kind of stay in the division for way too long, and then they also get kind of screwed over because when they do make that jump, all the teams that did make the jump are already comfortable in the league, and then you go 1-9, and then you're frustrated. Oh, why do we make this jump? This year for them, I mean, like Ice Pack is a new team. You have Speed Academy is a new team, and FPF Most One. By new team, I mean like teams that made a jump, and FPF Most One, team that made a jump. At least now you have 3 other teams that kind of made that jump with you, and then you have No Regard coming back into the division as well too. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 teams where like it's teams that you're used to playing against in 3 or C, however you call it. And it's also teams that have been struggling as well too. So at least like you don't wait a year while making that jump, and then you come in, and then you have Ice Pack that's been playing for the last year together. No Regard that's kind of more familiar with each other and see kind of their stands. FPF Most Wanted that had just a year of experience. Let's say they keep their team together. Like at least now you're going in while these teams are in this division.
No, you're absolutely right. That's exactly it, right? I mean, you make the jump because, like you said, right, and like we pointed out, they've won a championship. I think in pretty much every division that they've been in. They won Division 3 handily this past winter. So like, why not make the jump, right? It's those teams that want to like stay in the same division, win championship after championship, and they fool around with the cap in terms of player ratings. They maybe add a player who has a lesser rating, and that's so they could be dominant. Yeah, dominance is nice, right? To have a dynasty, so to speak, but you want to get better, and how do you get better is you move up to a higher division and you play against better competition, and that's usually that should be the case for all teams. Unfortunately, it's not the case, but Le Petit Carrot, they're doing it the right way, 100%.
Indeed.
All right, man. So I'm gonna wrap up quick. I know I was going on against games that I saw as the wind blew something over on my balcony. Again, the rookies, big win over Easy Fun against Cedric Maurice. This guy, like I came really impressed with watching him play. Again, the final score in that contest was 35-25. So like the score looks like it was a 10-point game, and it was, but I mean, the rookies were up 20-6 at the half, right? They were all scored 19-15 in the second half, but again, I just came really impressed with Cedric Maurice. Everybody on that team made plays. There's Gabriel Poulin, Elodie Simoneau, Charles Verreau. Of course, he came a little late. There was a guy who actually plays with Le Petit Carottes, Timothy Nema Lacasse. Didn't have a lot. He didn't do a lot stat wise. He had like 3 catches for 11 yards and 3 tackles, but guy with some speed, guy with some size. Anyways, I came away from that game being impressed. I expected Nick Blay and Easy Fun again, along with guys who've been there for a long time, right? Like Sam, Emilio Pelshaw, Lorian Bouchard. They're a veteran team. I got to say, the females in this game were going hard. The females in this game were not kidding around on other sides. Like I said, Lorian Bouchard, there was Camille Bissonnette, Justine Servant, Elodie Simoneau, Gabrielle Poulin, Ariane Boucher, like Megan Trudel as well. I think that's I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. Yeah, they were going hard. They were diving for balls. They were colliding hard with each other. So they were going hard. Again, 10-point win by the rookies. Again, I came away impressed from a squad with less experience than ECW has, and less experience playing in higher divisions than Easy Fun. Pardon me. I thought Easy Fun would win, but like I said, you got to play the games, and clearly the rookies did. Another game I did was the Fatty. So Oscar's team, who was on before, Austin Mccavour with his team with Sam Anastasopoulos. They took on Phantom Troop. Yeah, that game was bad, man. Phantom Troop kicked their butts, to be honest with you, man. It was just a thing where Sam was the quarterback and he threw one too many picks. And not even just picks. Again, to his credit, he's trying to play quarterback. It's not his natural position. He's a great receiver and a really good defender, Sam. I know with Idaho U, the Pimps, you played against him before. He had 3 TDs and 2 INTs, but he missed at least 3 or 4 should have been touchdown passes. His mechanics were bad. The ball was coming out flat. He was throwing off his back foot. Yeah, it was a recipe for disaster. I came away though impressed with Phantom Troop. I hadn't seen them play. Chelsea Britton, one of the top females I've seen play in a long time in FPF, which at least at the quarterback position, right? She was 11 of 13, 173 yards, 5 touchdown passes. She was on fire. She was throwing dimes. she fell victim to some of her receivers actually dropping some touchdown passes. So it could have been a bigger score than the 37-20 win. There's Victor Boulian. I came away impressed with him. A lot of speed, 2 TDs. Dakota Scott, who's actually a referee. I met her a few weeks ago. She's reffing. Usually see her at Con U on the weekends. I didn't know she played, but she played. She was fast. She had 2 touchdown receptions in the game. She had 2 sacks as well. Frederick Dodd, I know he's a collegiate receiver. I've seen this guy play a lot. He did his thing. He actually threw a touchdown pass, made some plays on both sides of the ball. He had 2 TDs as well as a receiver. There was Aya Faridi. I hadn't seen her play, but she's aggressive. She's all over the place, making tackles and that, getting in the way, getting in the passing lanes and that. There a couple of brothers on the team. There was Uzman the Jalal. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Florian Buendwa. Again, Buhenwa, yeah, sorry. Yeah, anyways, this team, Fatu Troop, I hadn't seen them play before. They came out. I was impressed. Again, they got the 37-20 victory over the Fatties, so congrats to them. And other games that I did, Jamaican bobsled team. So a team we talked about a lot, Quaysie. I thought of you on Saturday. I score kept their game. They beat Frenza's Bush. So they actually blew them out. So I was happy for Jamaican bobsled team again. This is a team that came in the FPF a couple seasons ago now, and they struggled lately. They've been struggling, right, to put wins together. So I'm just trying to find a final score in their game. I know they won 40. I think it was 41-12. I'm just gonna double check it here on the site. I hear this here. Jamaican bobsled team. They won 41-26. Yeah, 41-26 over Francis Bush. So big W for them. The quarterback Stephen Polizzi had a good game, 4 TD passes in that contest. Again, I came really impressed. I was like, okay, these guys are serious. They came to play. They weren't messing around. Their defense was actually stifling defense. They made a lot of big plays. Well, as is the case. So this is funny. Every time I see this, so you played a lot of ball, tackle and fly, so have I, right? And you go to a game and there's someone that always forgets their cleats, right? No matter who it is. My quarterback last year, Fred Juno, great guy. He forgot his cleats, I think, about 3 times last year. He had to wear golf. He came straight from the golf course to flag last summer, and he had to wear his golf cleats to play because he forgot to bring his football cleats. But anyways, so they had a guy in this team. I'm just trying to find his name here. Yeah, it was sorry. It was Giulio. Yeah, Giulio Scarpetti. So he's like, hey man, am I allowed to wear running shoes? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? You can wear running shoes, it's fine. He goes, yeah, man, I forgot my cleats. So they're trying to be a nice guy. I'm like, what size do you wear? He's like, yeah, 12 and a half. I go, I wear 12, dude. So if you want to wear my cleats, have them. So he wore my cleats. I mean, I think it's a nice thing to do for somebody, try to help them out. Anyways, so the big man got to wear my cleats and he put them to good use as this team won 41-26. So good job by them. Yeah, so Jamaican bobsled team again. One of the teams I cheer for again. Nice win over Francis Bush. Francis Bush though, I had never seen this team before. They're one of the new teams here in Division F, right? But they had some players, man. They had some players who didn't look like they were totally lost out there. They got some athleticism. I know the quarterback Jack Ciravella, I was like, okay, he needs to work on a couple of things, and the receivers need to work on catching some passes, but they got a little bit of size. They got some speed on their team. I think they just need reps. So hopefully they can get some of those and they could turn around after a big loss there to Jamaica bobsled team.
Jackson has been in this league since 2023 winter. I'm not sure if he was a quarterback. He's played one game here. 2023 spring, he didn't play quarterback. Cup, he played one game. Yes, he's had some reps at QB. So I mean, to have like a kind of a guy that's been in the league for a while, it's pretty good to have. Just as the quarterback that's right now. Talking about your cleat situation, so I had regionals with my the coach of the team that I coach
right
last week, and we had an insane game to get into our finals. So basically, how it works is there's 2 regions, and basically each region has like 4 or 5 teams, and if you win your region, you go into if you win your division, you go into regionals. So pretty much it's like top 2 teams for each side, and then you cross. So it's like teams that you never played against, but you kind of know of. So we finished the first seed, so we played the second team on the other side, and then the team that finished second plays the first team on the other side. So long story short, both our best players end up getting hurt going into their semis. We end up winning the game. Last play of the game, we scored a touchdown. We were down by 8. We scored a touchdown, 1 for 2, got the 2 points. Then it's a kickoff because it's 7-on-7 football. It's a kickoff, and it's like the CFL rules where if you kick the ball outside the end zone, you get a point for that. So we scored a touchdown when there was no plays left. So we scored a touchdown. We go for 2. We get the 2. Sorry, there was 1 play left. So we get the 2-point convert. So it's a tie game. It's 22-22. We do our kickoff, and in my head, I'm just trying to tell my guys, like, okay, guys, like the rules are insane on 7-on-7. You can have 1 pass to throw forward, so like you literally can like throw a 60-yard bomb, catching it and throwing the ball forward. Like you can do laterals and throw the ball forward. It's like a big thing where teams score on kickoffs. So we end up our kicker kicked the ball outside the end zone, and we got a point. So we were down by 8, and then the turnaround, we were down by 8. We scored a touchdown, 1 for 2, tie game. Kickoff came. We kicked the ball inside the end zone. We get a point. So we basically won the game 23-22. Going into the finals, our game was at 9:30 a.m. for the semis. Our finals at 3:30. So all the kids went home. They went to go it was a huge gap. So all the kids went home. Went to relax, whatever. And one of basically my best players, he's not like the smartest at times. He goes to me and so all the kids are warming up, they're getting their stuff ready. It's like 3 o'clock. He's at 3:30. So all the kids are getting ready, they're putting their cleats on. And I'm like watching them. So I'm watching whatever. I see him look in his bag, and then she starts like throwing things around, and he's like, oh, I forgot my cleats. And I looked at him, I'm like, how do you forget the one thing that you need? Like, exactly. It's not that hard. There's not much. You don't have to drive yourself to the game. You don't have to worry about this. Like, your parents are driving you there. They're dropping you off. They're picking. Like, you have the only thing you have to worry about is your cleats and your gloves. Like, because you're pretty much dressed, right? You don't. So he looks at me and like, I'm someone, I hate sharing my stuff. When it comes to football stuff, I don't like sharing my gloves. I don't like sharing my cleats. Like, I'm someone, I just don't like doing that. And I kind of looked at him, but I brought extra cleats for that situation because at the end of the day, I do love the kids, and he's my best player. Like, if he needs cleats, he's gonna get cleats. So he like looks at me and he's like, do you have cleats for me? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I give him my cleats. He puts them on, and like they're the Nike Untouchables. Like they're super nice cleats. And then he calls his dad, and he's like, Dad, whatever, I forgot my cleats. Before you get here, can you bring them? His dad was already on his way coming to the field, so his dad drive back. Anyways, his dad made it just on time. Our game was at 3:30. His dad made it just on time. And so he looks at me. So I see his dad, whatever. I grab the cleats from his dad and give it to him. So he takes off one of my cleats. He puts on his cleat, and he looks at me, and he's like, I feel like there's like a weird, uncomfortable feeling he has. And he looks at me, he's like, Coach, can I just wear your cleats? They feel so much, like, they feel more comfortable. I was like, yeah, like, but I already knew that was going to happen. Like, for sure, I'm like, when you have, like, older cleats and you put on a nice fresh pair, it's like nice, like, brand new shoes. My cleats are, like, pretty much brand new. Like, I've barely worn them. So, I know. And I said, yeah, you can wear my cleats. But, like, anybody else, I would have said no. If you were, like, a rent, I would have been, no, it's okay. Sorry, I can't. Like, you can wear your stuff. So, I let him wear her cleats. He did a great job with them, but I was kind of laughing about when you're kind of talking about the situation on lend, because you're a nice guy, to be honest. I probably wouldn't have lent my cleats to anybody. Like, if I don't like, even like sometimes
I hear you.
I don't like even gloves. Like when the kids left their gloves, forgot their gloves. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you're not wearing my gloves. I don't like. That's one thing I don't do. I won't borrow someone's gloves if someone's like, let's say I don't have gloves. And someone's like, oh, you can borrow my. I'm like, no, I don't want your gloves. I find gloves are like not disgusting, but I feel like they smell bad to a point. Like, if my gloves smell bad and I'm wearing them, fine. But if I'm wearing your gloves and they smell bad, like it's gonna get me all off. Like, it's something I don't like.
It's funny because like I having my team, right? Like, I'm always telling even the kids that I coach at the school that I work at, I'm just like, okay, you guys. Yeah, like you, right? Like, you're not driving yourself anywhere. Like, you're being driven. Whether it's a school bus or your parents or some family member taking you, you're not driving, right? You're not old enough to drive at this point. And like, I find like every time I leave my house, I'm forgetful. I forget a lot of things, but I always make sure I have my wallet and my keys and my phone. If I leave my phone at home, it's at the end of the road, but for sure I need my keys to get into my car and I need my wallet, right? And I'm always making sure before I leave, I'm always checking my back pocket. I leave my keys at the table by the front because I know if I leave them anywhere else, they'll be lost and God knows whenever I'll find them. And I think it's the same thing for like my football gear. Like I always have I have my big Nike bag and I always make sure I have water, cleats, and gloves. I have a pair of gloves that I leave. I have an extra pair in my car in case I forget, but I always make sure that's the last thing I check before I go downstairs to my car is gloves, cleats, water because you need it. Extra
Yeah,
shorts too, actually. Extra pair. There's some
yeah,
guys on my team that bring extra shorts for other guys. That I'm not great at doing, but yeah.
yeah. I do that as well too.
There's always somebody not every single game, but every second or third game, there's someone who forgets to bring the proper shorts, right? Because most people, I don't know about you, I wear shorts with pockets. Like everywhere I go, like it's only flag where I have to wear shorts with no pockets.
Yeah, I feel
And
like they
maybe the
also
beat.
don't make shorts without. I feel like there's also so hard to find
They
shorts
are
without
hard to
pockets.
find. 100% they're hard to find. 100%. I bought I bought a pair of Adidas shorts. It was the boxing week, the boxing week sales, whatever. And I was at Sports Expert, which I never go to because I find they're super expensive and they're a rip off. But they had these big signs like 50 to 70% off. I'm like, all right, let me go inside and see. Because I know sometimes they have football gloves. I don't buy cleats there. I go to Dick's to buy cleats, but I walked in there, so they had a pair of football gloves. They're in my car actually. Anyways, are they in my car? Anyways, whatever. Bought a pair of football gloves. They were like $40, like done. Because usually they're about 50, 60.
Yeah, that's
And then
pretty good
I
deal.
was walking out the store and I saw a pair of shorts. I go, let me just check. I go, I'm sure I'm not going to find any shorts at all. Because pretty much I have two pairs of shorts that I wear for flag. One I've had since I think my second or third season. Yeah, they still fit. I'm surprised as well. And the other pair I bought, I think about like 7 years ago. I forget where I bought them, but they were on sale. And I was like, hey, no pockets. And I found a pair of Adidas shorts. And it was like I found my size and I was like, all right, perfect. And it was the only pair of shorts that had no pockets. And they had about 20 pairs of shorts, like different pairs. It was the only pair that I saw with no pockets. So I'm like, hey, I'll take it because you never know.
Mhm. Yeah, same thing here. I found one good pair of shorts from Lululemon, and when I got them, I wasn't even thinking about flag. I just liked it. And I'm like, oh my god, they don't have pockets. And I was like, amazing. And some guy ended up ripping them because it's flag. He ends up ripping them. I go bring them back to Lululemon because if it's a rip, they exchange it.
Yeah,
And the
that's
girl
right.
tells me, I go, sorry, your shorts are discontinued.
Oh,
I
really?
go, I go, oh, okay. So she's like, yeah, we could give you this pair with pockets. I don't want the shorts with pockets. I want the ones I had without pockets. Why are you guys this cute? It was the best pair of shorts I had. I'm like, okay, it's stretchy,
Okay.
like it feels great. And they're like, sorry, it discontinued. And now I've been looking because Lululemon again, it's expensive, but if I'm ripping the product and you guys are replacing it, like can't go wrong with that, right? And usually there's no
Yeah.
problems. They don't give you any. There's no issues. It's like no problem, exchange. So now I've been looking for like a good pair, but again, it's so hard to find shorts without pockets.
Oh, yeah. 100%, man. 100%. Because I find the shorts without pockets, like you get the sprinter shorts, like when you do marathons and that. I'm not wearing shorts that just come, they fall like just below my ass and like camera nose, camera nose. Anyway, what was that Ali Reza, sir? Ain't none shade there. Eh? Ain't none, yeah, we'll get to my next momentarily. Don't worry, my friend. We'll get to my next after last night, my friend. I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling nice. All right, so okay, so let's wrap up quick, man. Let's hop over. Sorry, Division C is one game I want to talk about quick. Balsa Hard University, Jagerbomb. Balsa Hard University is basically a bunch of former and current McGill players. Jeffrey Amasal Cecilie, a lot of those cats. Mathis Pilon, I believe he's also a linebacker there. A couple of guys, again, that recognize from McGill. Thomas Pilon, big man, D lineman against Jagerbomb. Yeah, Jagerbomb's been together for a long time. Jagerbomb got the W. I mean, that's no surprise. I played against them a million times. They beat me. They knocked me out of the playoffs last season. They beat me. I think it was the first round. And this is what they do. They either start off really hot and then slow down. The other team catches up and then they pull away, or they start off super slow and then halfway through the game they'll pick it up and then start to pull away at the end, right? They're a veteran team, right?
Mhm.
I came away though, so okay, Jagerbomb did what they do. Ball so hard University. So one guy does not play at McGill. He's a rookie. Vicardi Vieux. Darcy Genis or Genus, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. He's former U of M, Caribbean, and McGill guy. He played for both universities. I was talking to him. I know him a little bit from covering him at McGill. And he goes, yeah, Vicardi's my cousin. This dude, he's like, I think, a younger version of you. This guy was like catching everything over the middle. He has to be about the same height as you or me. Like we're pretty much the same height. This explosiveness, athleticism. He was jumping up in the air and making plays on balls on both sides of the ball. He's the type of guy, like if it was tackle, you throw him a screen and let him decode everybody for a touchdown. Like that type of player. I came away super impressed. I believe it's his first year playing in FPF, but I asked Darcy, so he's gonna play like the rest of the year. He goes, yeah, he's down for the whole year, and I want to see this guy get the ball more again. Vicardi, Vieux, this guy was electric. And this team, if they want to get some W's, they're gonna have to give him the ball a lot. Speaking of ball so hard university.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Going back a bit about Juggerbomb. Again, you were kind of saying, yeah, Juggerbomb sometimes a hit or miss. They're a team that usually goes like 7-3, 6-4.
Yeah.
The fact that they're starting 3-0 this year, I mean, I'm not surprised. If someone's like, "Oh, Juggerbom's 3-0," I'll be like, "Okay, well, okay." They've been in this league for so long, and they have. I'm looking at their roster. It seems like it's the same core to a certain point. They added Ryan Carroll, the guy that used that QB is like for Division B that kind of struggled last season. For
Ryan Carruth. Yeah.
They added him. I guess he's probably playing as before kind of. He's playing as probably a snapper. He looks like a big snapper.
No, he's not snapping. He's not snapping. They got Laurent Foucault, the big tall.
Oh, yeah, Laurent too. Yeah, exactly. So I guess he's playing a receiver. Yeah. He's a big body. He's a big body. He's a big body in general. He knows what he's kind of doing. He has that quarterback vision, that mentality. So it's a pickup for them. I think this is his first season playing with them. Other than that, it seems like the rest of the guys are guys that played with them in the past. So it's kind of nice to see a team like this. A lot of times when you have a veteran team that kind of brings back the same core to a certain point, I mean, you usually are successful. So they're 3-0, not surprising. Again, BBB Bear Belly Brigade is also a team. They started 3-0. It's pretty hot. You guys right now are leading the leading defensive wise, only allowing 18 points because you guys got that nice forfeit for being 2-0. But I mean, like the teams right now that are 3-0, I'm not surprised. You know, if someone told me, oh, by the way, in Division C, we're gonna have Bear Belly Brigade, Jaggerbomb Commission that are starting off 3-0, 3-0, 2-0. I would not be surprised. I feel like you guys should be at least top five in this division when it comes down to the end of the season.
100%. Yeah, 100%. You talked about Jagerbomb. I see a lot of the veterans like Simon Deschamps who've been in this league, in this division for a million years. Jean-Felix Dallouz, right? Laurent Foucault. They've been together. Kevin Marcel. And yeah, like you're right. I agree with you 100%. Adding a guy like Ryan Carruth, he's athletic. He's fast. He's long. He's athletic. You could put him at the 3 on defense. Put him pretty much anywhere on defense, but he likes playing the 3. And on offense, he plays some little bit of slot receiver here and there. Like these guys make plays, and they've been around. They know how to get it done. I'm excited. I mean, I know I play them. I think it's the last game of the regular season or close to the end of the regular season. We play them every year. That's the case with those guys. They've actually won the rivalry a lot as of late. Again, they knocked us out the playoffs last year, so we'll have to see what happens next time we play them again in the regular season. Looking at this upcoming week, I know there's only 5 games this coming week, so it's a little short the schedule. Balsa Hard University Hustlers, Nutter Run, Beer Belly Brigade, who you talked about. Cast of 12, Case of 12 playing my team, the Commission, on Saturday. Balsa Hard University back in action against the Peckers, and Jagerbomb against another veteran team, Uncle Rico Riders. I know the Peckers, so they forfeited their game against us in week 1. They played though this past week. They got actually a big 39-33 win over Nutter Run this past Sunday at Laval. So congrats to the Packers. Well, A, they showed up, and B, they got their first W of the season. And then they got Vince Maule, obviously of Terra Squad. He had 3 TDs and 145 yards in the game. So he's going to be the number one receiver on that squad. So we'll have to wait and see what else happens with. Pardon me, sorry, wrong team. My bad. He plays for Nutter Run. My apologies. For the Packers, I should say. Sorry, actually, even better. Nathan Twick had 6 catches, 46 yards, 4 touchdowns. So yeah, he obviously came and he balled out. So again, we'll have to wait and see what both Nut and Run and Packers do next. But again, congrats to the Packers, their first W in their technically second official game of the year.
Also, it's also interesting to see that there's only 5 teams. There's 5 teams that don't make playoffs, so you don't have the privilege to kind of have a slow start. It's gonna be interesting. To be honest, it's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna make playoffs, who's not make playoffs. I think the top 5 teams right now, Cast 12, All Blacks, Commission, Juggerbaum, Bear Valley, Bulgaria. I think you guys are pretty much solid. I'm concerned about the Hustlers. They're starting 1 and 2. I know Isaiah Laird is on this team. I think he's missed a couple games. Mongoose is also concerning because they're just not the same team that they always used to be. I think their quarterback situation's always been an issue. Balsar University, I've heard this team before. As again, we were talking about, it's not their first season. I think they're usually a Division 4B team. So they made that jump this year. So, but these are the 3 teams. It is concerning as well. I think maybe Balsar University is going to have to use a lot of their athletic abilities to try to get some wins when they play versus less athletic teams. But when it comes to teams that are more veteran, again, like a team like you guys, a Juggerbomb, a Bear Valley, even Cast of 12 they're playing well. This is a team that played Division 4B, I think, the last season, or 4A. All Blacks well too. It's a veteran team. They understand what they're doing. So like those top 5 teams, when they play versus a team like Balsar University, athletic wise, skills, I don't think it's going to help as much. So I am concerned for these 3 teams. And then looking at the back end, Peckers, the Innocents, Uncle Rico Riders, Big Fat Bats, Done and Run. These are all teams that have been struggling for the past, let's say, 1 year. None of Run has been struggling, and I think they were in 4B last year. They struggled. Big Fat Bats have been struggling. Uncle Rico Riders has been struggling. Peckers have been struggling as well too in the last season that they did. And then the Innocents, I don't know exactly who that is, but I'm worried for the bottom 7 teams. I'm worried just because I don't know how the outcome's going to be, who's going to make playoffs, who's not going to make playoffs, because 5 teams is a lot of teams not to make playoffs. So it's going to be an interesting season when it comes down the final stretch.
So one quick game. I was in Bassard against scorekeeping on Tuesday. I didn't scorekeep this game, but it was 2 fields over. I was on field 3. This game was on field 1. It was Big Fat Bats against Mangoose. My team just came off of playing Mangoose on Saturday. We got the W of 36-18, I think it was. Again, 2 veteran teams going at it. So Mangoose got the win 45-40, but I can tell you, like, it was a shootout. Every time, like every 2-3 minutes, I heard like screaming going on for like big plays and whatnot. One play I did see, so a great one-handed catch by the big man Charles Fontaine. I think he's a snapper for Mengels. He ran it was either a wheel. I saw the end of the road, so I don't know if it was either a wheel or just a straight 9 goal. Oh, if he's the center, it has to be a wheel. Down the left-hand side, he reached up with one hand and grabbed down the ball for the TD. And the play, that field like erupted. Like it was a huge play by him. His quarterback. So Felix Antoine Lavigne didn't play against us. They had Tristan Cass-Folk, former U of M player. He ended up playing quarterback, his usual receiver. The regular quarterback, Felix Antoine Lavigne, was there. 15-21, 258 yards, 7 touchdown passes, and 1 INT. Matthews Zapatelli, the other side for Big Fat Bats, went 21-42, 249 yards, 6 touchdown passes, and 2 INTs. Again, I just heard like a lot of big shouts and cheering from one field, and every time I turned around, it was that field. Oliver Surrey had 99 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. So AJ Zapaletti, obviously him and Matthew brothers, they connected 8 times, 110 yards, 3 TDs. Again, the game sounded super exciting. I I wasn't unfortunately able to score keep it, but I was actually the main man, Nick Hamel, who score kept that game, and asking me to give me some updates here and there, and looked like it was a pretty impressive and exciting game. Again, Mangoose 45-40 over Big Fat Bats.
Nice.
Let's hop over to the women's. So obviously women's A, women's B, women's C here. So last week, Quaysie, what I had asked was Purple Heat, right? So I said it's kind of a mix of a couple of teams in there. They got some players, Sub-Zero from Mackay, if I'm not mistaken. I asked last week, are they the favorites to win women's A? Again, they had the most experience, and the roster has a lot of players who've won championships, right? So they responded by barely beating Blue Pound 14-12. Now, Ann Legacy Tires was the starting quarterback for Purple Heat. It wasn't Sandrine Gobey-Huot. But Blue Pal didn't have the regular quarterback Emmanuel Brassard, right? So that also makes a huge difference. And again, so a 2-point win is still a win. You still get the 2 points if you're Purple Heat. But again, you beat Blue Pal only by 2. And Blue Pal didn't have their starting quarterback, whereas Ann Legacy Tires, I'm saying that name right. She has pardon me, Annie Tires Legacy. My apologies. She's played quarterback more than enough times in this league, and she's actually a big time player. Again, they got the 14-12 win, but the question that I have for now for you is, again, they beat Blue Pal without Emmanuel Brassard and only beat them by 2. Do you think Purple Heat is still the favorites to win it all, or do you think there's maybe someone else could definitely win it?
Going based on Purple Heat's roster, I would like this. I would say, yeah, they are the favorites to win it all, just because their roster is they have a combine of so many good girls, and then you have Spontagen as the starting quarterback when she's there. I mean, she's been in this league for a while. She's been playing for a while. From top to bottom, I don't see from top to bottom, I don't see a weakness in this team defensively and offensively. What I do want to say is that the fact that the game that they won 14-12 versus a Blue Pud team, where again Blue Puds, their defense is what kind of keeps them in the game a lot of the times. When they're a full team for Blue Pud and their whole defensive squad is there, when you have a backup quarterback as Q and you're playing versus defense, it's not going to be super easy to score, especially in 5-on-5. It's to a point where if you don't have those go-to plays and those reads at the beginning of the game, it could just become a defensive shootout between both teams, where you get games where it ends 12-13, 12-14, because you don't have your starting quarterbacks where you're able to make those explosive plays for touchdowns or just be able to score on the board. It becomes like, okay, incomplete pass. Okay, incomplete pass. Well, now you're 3rd and 20. Like, you have to get a first down, and a lot of teams, especially like a Blue Pud team, where it's a veteran group where they kind of understand down and distance, and they're very good at. I feel like they're a more defensive team than they're an offensive team. I think they struggle offensively, and you kind of seen that the last couple years when they played in the higher divisions where they don't win as much game because they just can't score as much. And then you look on the side between Purple Heat. Again, they're also, even though they're missing their quarterback that wasn't there, it's just kind of the same thing towards Blue Pud. They're missing their quarterback, Emmanuel. She wasn't there either. I mean, it becomes a whole defensive game, and that's the reason why we kind of saw a score 14-12. I feel like if both quarterbacks were there, Purple Heat would probably have scored, I would say, I would like to say maybe 2 more touchdowns, and I think Blue Pud would maybe have scored. I think they would probably have scored the same thing, to be honest. I think it would have been 28-12. So, I mean, good job for Erica Magnina, where where she kind of stepped in. Again, she's a formal player. I think she's still like a coordinator there. She's a great receiver. So she kind of stepped up and she kind of took the quarterback role. But to answer your question, I think Blue Purple Heat is still the team that's going to be the team to beat in the finals. Like if they're going to lose, it's because they're the team to win it all.
Okay. Sorry, one correction. So my apologies. So I listed Annie Tyre's legacy as a starting quarterback. She did play some QB, but it was actually Clara Baudouin, who last time we saw with Cayenne, right, in the finals against Sub-Zero. So it was actually Clara Baudouin. My apologies. She was the starting quarterback. She went 14 to 25, 128 yards, one touchdown pass, and Tyre's legacy through the other touchdown pass for Purple Heat again in their W over Blue Pound.
What? Sorry, one thing I do want to say, I'm curious. Yeah, I feel like Purple Heat is going to be the team to play, to beat. Birds is also a team that's going to be very. I feel like it's going to be a hit or miss with this roster. They have athletes where a lot of that are not well known yet. I mean, it's a bunch of girls that kind of put the team together. Their coach is Tam, so Tam kind of put a decent core together where I think they've been playing for a while. He has some of his girls from Lennoxville. He has some girls from some high schools as well too. Some girls from Concordia. Just like a bunch of girls kind of put in together, and they're gonna. I think this is their second year playing together. I think they kind of go to nationals as well too. So I think they're just kind of getting like a trying to get a feel to see how they're gonna play. I think that's gonna be also a team that's gonna be like a secret team where like no one talks about, and also I'm curious to see when Knicks are going to play as well too.
Yeah.
So looking at Knicks,
that's
like a roster. So I think that's like a roster of like UCAM and a bit of Concordia and Montreal. Again, a lot of these teams are just like it's a mix of a bunch of
exactly.
Of a bunch of teams, but Knicks is basically the old Ice Cold team. So the Ice Cold used to have a team. I think they signed up last season, or I think they lost in the finals.
Icy Hot. It was Cayenne and Sub-Zero last spring season. Yeah.
No, Ice Cold.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay.
Yeah. Icy Hot is Cayenne in Matrix. Ice Cold is a mixture of a bunch of girls, whatever, that have been playing with each other. Here and there, you have girls from Saint Laurent, you have girls from UCAM, girls from Concordia. It's a mixed girls, but they had a team called Ice Cold. They ended up losing in the finals, I want to say, last summer. I would like to say maybe semis, but they changed their name to Knicks. They used to be Ice Cold, so I'm also curious to see how they're going to perform since they haven't played a game yet.
Okay. Yes. All right. Yeah. So Blue Pal loses to Purple Heat, like we said, but then Blue Pal was able to bounce back. They blew out actually the Sparks 25-0. So that was last Sunday. So the loss to Purple Heat was Saturday. One day later, they beat Sparks 25-0. So Emmanuel Bronstar was back for that game. 4 TD passes and pretty much made it look easy. It's 25-0 at the half, and then no one scored at the second half. In the second half, pardon me. So that's a bit alarming. Sparks, they had really Taddy as a quarterback and Jay Jutras. Both of them, it didn't work out so well. I mean, they combined for 11 of 29 passes for 59 yards and 4 INTs. So obviously, for Sparks, not the outing they wanted for their squad. But again, it's only one loss, so the season isn't lost yet. But I mean, right now they dropped to 0-3. Obviously, their main quarterback, I believe, is Juliette Beauvais wasn't there for that game, hence why they struggle so much offensively. Looking at this squad again, is Sparks. So they dropped now to 0-3, right? So they're up next. Their game up next is against the team we're going to talk about right now. This coming Saturday at Connu, they're taking on Chaos. So Chaos right now, again, we talked about them a lot last season in the podcast. Right now, they made the move to Women's A. They're 0-2 right now, right? They had a close loss to Purple Heat, 34-25 week 1. And they lost 21-13 this past Sunday in Laval against the Birds. So, unfortunately for Chaos, that was kind of one of those bad Allison Sobel games. It is what it is. She had 2 touchdown passes and 216 yards, which is great, but also 5 INTs, right? So, I mean, when you have that many INTs, chances of winning a game are pretty slim, and she'd be the first to tell you. Shout out to Lori Willette, again, friend of the program. She came out. I know she's subbing this year, with Chaos. She had 11 grabs. She caught all 11 targets thrown to her for 123 yards and a touchdown. But on the other side, again, that defense, 5 INTs, 3 of them by Eunice Fotzel. So I've seen her play. She's really good. 3 INTs. One of them, she ran back to the house. Sophia Presutti, the quarterback for the Birds. Modest numbers, 18 of 31, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. She connected with Beatrice Palma Geronimo for a TD, and she also hit Eunice Fotzel for a touchdown. But again, that defense is where they really got the W. Again, 5 INTs, one of them run back to the house. Again, 21-13 win for the Birds. But credit to Chaos. 5 INTs and you only lose by a touchdown. That's actually not that bad.
Yeah, well,
You take at least. Sorry?
It just goes to show that Chaos defense is still one of the top. I feel like their defense one of the top defense. It's going to be a point where Allison's, again, you can't throw 5 INTs. It's simple like that.
Yeah, she knows it.
Of INTs, and also I think like one thing she has to realize that from women's A and B, you could get away with some of your throws, and then it's to a point where you can't get away with some of your throws. So I think one thing I do have to say is that right now Chaos is 0-2. They have a favorable matchups versus the Sparks. Again, I think their roster is kind of lacking a bit. Juliette Bouvet, the quarterback for Sparks. I believe she's a former Champlain quarterback, and I believe now she's at UQAM. I feel like she's been struggling a bit. I'm not sure if she's still at UQAM now, but I think she is. But she's been struggling a bit. So I think their defense is going to be Chaos defense is going to be able to help them out in that situation. I just feel like right now Chaos has to realize like it's a practice run, right? You're playing versus better competition, and it's for practice. Like you're trying to understand the difference between women's A and women's B, what works, what doesn't work, what do I have to change. I think this is like the best opportunity for Allison to kind of realize, okay, well, I can't run this play anymore. I have to change this play and just kind of change her playbook and kind of adapt a bit better of what she has to do. And then for the Chaos defense, it's a great time to kind of, one, establish who plays where, get familiar with other teams, how they play certain offenses, so you guys can adapt as a team. Or again, like Chaos, again, they've been playing for a while, but faster pace, faster calls. It's stuff where you kind of have to adapt earlier on before it's too late, and not to panic. Like, okay, we're 0-2. Like, oh, we shouldn't have went women's A. No, you're fine. We lost one game versus. You lost one game versus Purple Heat, which pretty much should be one of the top teams. And then you dropped a game versus the Birds where your quarterback threw 5 INTs, and you only allowed them to score 21. You guys still scored 13. Yeah. Like, you don't see that often where you're like, oh, we scored 5. Like, if you're telling me, if I'm watching a football game and I see a stat line where one quarterback threw 1 INT, other one scored and threw 5 INTs, I'm thinking it, and a pick 6 in that fact, I'm thinking it's going to be a blowout where a team's losing by at least 30 points, 20 points. You guys lost by 8 points. You're one score away from making a stop, scoring, going for a 2-point convert and tying the game, and maybe winning in overtime. So I think moving forward, I think Chaos is gonna have to I feel like they're gonna have to try to maybe change their playbook a bit. One thing everyone kind of knows, Allison's go-to play is that 10 in. Or that 15 in where she hits Gigi or Emma, one of those big bodies. A lot of teams, in most cases, that's one gap you fill in a lot of the point. I think she's gonna start realizing that pass is not going to be there on those third and 15, fourth and 15. Teams are kind of looking for that. I'm pretty sure she probably got picked off a lot of times like that in that situations where if it's overthrown, it's a pick. If it's underthrown, it's a pick. And if it's on target, it's a hard catch. A lot of teams play that gap of that defense. So I think she's going to have to maybe just adapt her defense, adapt her offensive play calling a bit. And that Chaos defense, just every week, use it as momentum and just to get better. They have a great core of defensive women on this team. And I think from starting from week 2 going into week 11, I think they just could get better from here.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And at the end of the day, right? I mean, there's a lot of football left, right? It's only week 3 coming up. There's a lot of ball left. 0-2 is definitely not a hole that they can't climb out of it. And they have a lot of veteran experience and championship experience, right? So I think they'll be okay. Sorry, shut up quickly. I missed saying it before. Shut up quickly. Again, that blue paw win over Sparks, 25-0. 3 INTs for Audrey Lajoie. So 3 INTs as a defender. That's pretty impressive. So let's go to women's B. So last week on the show, I asked, did Hebrew make the jump too soon? They lost to She Sparks in the women's championship this past winter season, and I was wondering, did they make the jump too soon? I mean, they made the finals, they didn't win. I know you said earlier talking about teams that even if you make the finals, you don't win, you should make the jump up, and that's what they did. And Hebrew right now, I mean, they're clearly proving it that the jump was not too soon. They're perfect 3-0 on the season. They've dominated in pretty much every game they've been a part of. Week 1, they beat the Merge 38-0. Last Saturday, they beat Wolfpack 32-12. And they blew out the Originals Tuesday night in Brassard. So it wasn't on the field that I was at, thankfully, because I don't want to watch a game that ended in a score of 54-0. Yes, 54-0. Hebrew beat the Originals. So congrats to those ladies on getting that done. That was just, a massacre. Cassiopeia LeMay, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. 14 of 17, 214 yards, 6 TD passes. Every receiver that caught a pass got a touchdown. Anka Koo led the way with 7 catches, 106 yards, and 2 TDs. Laurence Gagnon had 2 TDs. Eleanor Lacasse had a TD, and Beatrice Dubois had a TD. So again, all 4 receivers had a TD. They had a monster game on defense from Leanne Lafreniere. She had 3 INTs. 2 of them she ran back to the house. They also got an INT from Gabrielle Caron Malboeuf. The other side, Jessica Banville, 103 yards, but she had 5 INTs in that match. It's obviously not a recipe for success. Again, 26-0 at the half, 28-0 in the second half. So again, shout out to Hebrew. They are the class so far of women's B. I know for them coming up, they have the Wolfpack, so a team they beat 32-13. So at least a team to score some points on them. Maybe Wolfpack can get a little revenge. That's actually this coming week they have a bye, so it's going to be in week 4, June 13th at Loyola. So actually, I'll be there for that game to watch that one. But again, right now, Hebrew just dominating women's B.
Yeah, they looked scary, to be honest with you. I was kind of I was curious to see if the Rangers were kind of missing their quarterback, to see who was at Q.
Yeah.
But no, it was their starting quarterback. The fact that they could score 0 points, it's kind of disturbing. But again, maybe Hebrews, they're showing something right now. I want to give a shout to the Merge. So one thing about cool about the Merge, right? So at first you would think the Merge, as we know for
I talked about that last week. No, it's not.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
It's not.
So the Merge is actually a merge of She Sparks and Turf Titans.
Turf Titans. Yep.
Yeah. So what they did is that from what I was told, it was to a point where, hey, we don't want to be playing in women's 3 anymore. I feel like they kind of realized, okay, we're not a women's 3 team. Let's make that jump. Turf Titans again was a team that made the jump, but they struggled last season. I think they won 1-9 or 2-8. I don't think they won that many games. So they're like, let's merge our team together. Let's take the best 4 or 5 players in one team. Let's take the 4 or 5 players in another team, and let's try to make something out of it. So that's what they kind of did, and that's the reason why their name is called the Merge. It's a mixture of Turf Titans and She Sparks, of the best players where they felt they were able to compete, and right now that's what they're trying to do. They beat the Cavaliers 12-8, which is more a defensive game, and then they dropped one versus Supernova 14-13. But just kind of shout out to them to kind of making that, not like that. It's kind of hard to because I guess you have to kind of cut some girls, or kind of told some girls like, hey, it's not gonna work out. We're gonna move forward from you. So kind of shout out to them to look at it as a bigger picture where, okay, maybe let's say this season they go, again, it's kind of looking at their schedule. They play Cavs. Maybe they probably beat the Cavs. Originals, I don't think they're going to beat the Originals. Wolfpack should be a good game for 2 of their games. Supernova, I don't think they'll beat Supernova. And then Sorority probably maybe 1-1. They'll probably go maybe 3-7. I want to say this year, but again, it's practice. That's what a lot of people teams have to realize. Like, even if you have a bad season, there's a difference between having a bad season and learning from it, or just having a bad season and not learning from it. So it's to the point where you guys are a new team, you guys are new players playing with each other. You're gonna have to get used to the person next to you. You're gonna have to get used to the quarterback, and you're gonna have to use this as an experience, right? It doesn't matter if you're getting blown out. They lost to Hebrew 38-0. Like, use that as experience and get better from it. Not more. Don't use it as negative as, oh, we suck, we lost by this many points. Da, 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 da. You gotta look at the positive side instead of look at the negative side.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. So in the game you're talking about, quick shout out for Supernova, Sandrine Aubrey, solid game, 7 catches, 147 yards. And she had a touchdown as well. On the other side for the Merge, Samora Fantasacco, 5 catches, 103 yards, and a touchdown. So some solid performances by some ladies from Supernova and the Merge. Going to Women's C, looking at it quickly here. So last week I asked 2 questions. I go, can Lioness, the Lioness, pardon me, improve from last winter? Again, they scored 57 points total. They've been 0-10. And I looked at a Hunsick. There was a Hunsick white, there's a Hunsick black, which is a better team. So we got some answers. So Lioness, again, still haven't left their first win in FPF, but they came close. They gave the Valkyries a run for the money. Fortunately for Lioness, they lost by a score of 20-19 in that game. And a heartbreaking loss. But again, this is what happens. You get a little better each week. Get a little better, learning experiences, so on and so forth, right? They came close. The game went down to the wire again, losing 20-19 to the Valkyries. That pretty much capped off week 2. That was this Monday that game actually took place. The game was 6-6 at the half, and it went to overtime actually. So the Valkyries getting the W in OT. So they got the extra 1-point conversion. Lioness had a chance to score first. They couldn't get the 1 point, so the Valkyries did. So that's why they won the game. And again, shout out to Lioness on slowly improving. It's not a sprint, right? It's a marathon. And shout out to the Valkyries as well. Valkyries getting a huge win there. Valkyries actually started off the week though with a beatdown. They took on a Hunsick Black, so 8-Town Black. They beat them 27-0. Did the Valkyries. So good job by those ladies there. Eliane Garreau, 4 TDs as a passer. 3 of them went to Heidi Garreau. I'm not sure if they're related or not, but the Garreau connection had I guess you could say 3 touchdowns between them, 4 in total though from the quarterback. The defense, again, Eliane Garreau, not just a good quarterback, also a good defender. She had 2 sacks in that game. Olivia Raymond had an INT as well. So again, her defense really came to play. Again, 27-0 victory. Now, see, it says 27-0 here, so I'm not sure why, because the scoreboard says a little different. But anyways, victory by the Valkyries. So two solid W's for them. The other Hunsick team, 8-Town White, they knocked off the Rock 32-12. So that was clearly a blowout in that game as well. So again, a big victory for 8-Town White. So at least one half of Hunsick getting a win. Nizreen Batui with 5 TD passes in the game. So good job by her. 4 of them went to Virginia Alexander. She had 8 catches, 110 yards, and 4 TDs in that contest. So shout out to her on a really, really solid performance. We had as well Obsidian beating the Rock. So the Rock 0-2 on the weekend. They got the W. Obsidian did 19-6 over the Rock. So good job by them. Laurie Cristofaro, 184 yards, 3 TD passes in the win. 2 of her TD passes went to Gabrielle Gilbeau, 11 catches, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The defense got 3 INTs for Leticia Dorismont. So good job by those ladies right there again, giving the 19-6 win over the Rock. The Rock, they're going to have to regroup. I know they dropped down this year into Women's C. I mean, right now it's a rough go for them. I have to see if they can maybe build on something here. And again, they didn't lose by a lot. They lost by 13 points, but they got to get their offense in gear, right? Because their offense for them it's been a struggle so far. They're only 0-2, so a lot of football left. They scored 12 points week one in a loss to Huntsic White, and now 6 points against Obsidian. They're back in action this coming Thursday in Laval against La Valkyrie. So that's going to be a big test for the Rock.
Something else to say that Obsidian is actually CCL.
Okay. Nice.
They just changed their name, but it's the same core, the same amount of girls. I think there are like 14, 15 girls on the team. So it's the same team that was in for women's 3 last season.
Okay.
Yeah, just to point that out.
Okay, cool. Quickly before we sign off here, last week I asked, can Party Crashers bounce back again? They had a heartbreaking loss in 5v5 and in Division 1 championship games, losing both of those to the Braves this past winter. Oh, so far Party Crashers are 2-0 in 5v5 competitive. They started off with a 33-26 win over the Infantry, and they blew out the Raw Dogs 47-19 this past week. So good job by them. Looking at Emerson Peterkin had 3 touchdowns in that game. Jean-Z Alessi also threw 3 touchdowns in that game. So obviously big performance by then. Shout out to Fitz Sanitas, 4 catches, 126 yards, 3 TDs in that game. So obviously he came the ball. Gucci Amambo had an INT in that game. Jean-Z Alessi had an INT. They picked off Jordan Panetta, that was quarterback for Raw Dogs. Yeah, it's just a bad outing for Raw Dogs. Just couldn't get it done. And then they got spanked 47-19. One thing, sorry, I didn't scorekeep this game. I should have mentioned earlier, maybe with the games that stood out to me. I didn't scorekeep this game, but it was Co-Ed 4. So when I go back to Co-Ed 4 for a second. So the matchup that I watched, it was on the field next to me because again, I scorekept field 3. So this game obviously was on field 2. It was a matchup between the Flamingos and Sax Appeals. So Sax Appeals is a team we've talked about a lot on the podcast in seasons past. Flamingos with a 54-25 victory. So, okay, it's a blowout. 54 points, 54 points. So shout out to the Flamingos on dropping that. They were led on offense. So they had 2 quarterbacks. They both throw for 4 touchdowns. Gabriel Laperelle and Noah Forget both threw 4 touchdown passes. Out of the 8 touchdown passes that they threw, both quarterbacks, 5 of them, yes, 5, went to Florent Dussault, who had 5 catches, 111 yards, and 5 TDs. So obviously she came to play. She balled out. Another girl who caught my attention. Now, FPF, right? It's a league, hundreds and hundreds of players, right? And people come just like in society, right? In real life, people come in all shapes and sizes. I gotta say, Flamingos have, I think, the smallest player I've ever seen in FPF. I'm not the tallest guy ever. I'm like 5'8" on a good day, so I'm not trying to throw any shade. I'm talking about Susanna Loiza. I think if she was maybe 5 feet tall, I'd be surprised. But she didn't let that stop her. Like this girl was phenomenal. Every time I turned around to look at a play, she was catching the ball and juking out people or just using her speed to create openings for others on her offense. She had 2 catches and only 2 passes went her way. So 2 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. I immediately thought I could even hear players trying to tackle her and be like, God damn, she's so short. But hey, that works out in flag football. That works out 1,000%, right? Even I was working with Jack Moody. He was a referee, and he actually looked over to that game as well. And even players that were on the field that I was on, in between players were looking over to the field to see her. And again, she maybe the fastest player in FPF. I'm not even going to say it from a female perspective, but I think just from a player perspective, period. Susanna Loiza. I immediately thought of Emile Chateauver, obviously from the Braves. Again, he's definitely one of the shortest males in FPF, but he's an impact player. I think he should be on Team Canada, but that's just my opinion. Susanna Loiza, same thing. She had a headband as well, just like Emile has sometimes. She was just making plays all over. She was dipping, she's getting low, and people can handle her speed. So I came away. I was like, okay, Dussault. I saw some of her touchdowns. I was impressed. When I saw Loiza, just like her ability to not just create separation, but to run routes. Like I think she's an impact player. I've never seen her in my life. And FPF, I'm just trying to see if she's played before.
Her first season.
Sorry, it's her first season?
It's her first season.
Yeah, first season. Anyways, yeah, this is the whole like. Don't worry about the player's size. Worry about their heart, and otherwise, it has a lot of heart. And I'm gonna try to make it a point if I'm on the field, if I'm scorekeeping, and these guys are flamingos and these guys and girls are playing. I want to try and check it out because like if what I saw on Tuesday could translate, she's gonna be a serious weapon for this team.
Yeah, for sure. I was kind of looking to see. That's the first thing I had when you said it. I was like, I don't know who. I never heard that name before. But yeah, it's her first season. And again, one thing about flag. I mean, at the end of the day, size doesn't matter to extent. I mean, if there's a jump ball,
Yeah.
you're gonna get most likely
Yeah.
lost. But as long as you get the ball in your hands and you're able to kind of adapt the flag where you can move your hips and you can dip like that, it could be a huge advantage for you.
Definitely. All right, man. I know quickly before we go, I know the CFL season kicks off tonight. It's the Alouettes are in Hamilton. Obviously, FPF is home to a lot of current and former CFL players. So shout out to all those guys who have played at least in the winter season and are going to be lining up to play some real football, play some tackle football. Part of me, either tonight or this coming week. I know guys like Joey Cochran, there's Kevin Clirsius as well. And again, we get a lot of former CFO players, obviously guys like Jeremy Murphy, Dawson Pierre as well, right? FPF player to the BC Lions. And that's kind of been a tradition here at FPF over the years. Guys that you know, are playing tackle, come here in the offseason to play and stay in football shape and whatnot. So shout out to those guys. I have World Cup is coming up June 11th. So I think the next time we meet today is the 4th, I want to say. Yeah, today's the 4th. So actually, maybe the next time we're on, the World Cup will have started. But again, it starts June 11th to July 19th. I'm not English, but I cheer for Team England. I'm a Harry Kane fan, Marcus Rashford, so obviously they play for Team England. This is the one time you ever hear Mo Khan agree on the team because he cheers for hard garbage teams like the Raiders and the Marlins and the Argonauts and teams like that. I don't cheer for garbage like that, but he cheers for England. I'm an England fan as well. Um, Stanley Cup Final, game 2 tonight, Vegas and Carolina. I'm in a pool. I'm actually in third place right now. Top 2 people get money. I'm not going to say how much, but it's a decent amount. I'm 1 point behind seconds. I'm hoping I can catch first, but I'm just hoping at least to get second. So I picked Vegas in 6, and I picked Mitch Marner as my consummate, my MVP winner. Maybe we should have picked Brett Howden, but whatever. It is what it is.
So Mitch Marner has,
And
he has 1 goal, an assist.
sorry?
No, 2 assists. Mitch Marner.
Sorry, what?
He has 1. He doesn't have any goals. He has what, 2 assists so far?
Marner has a ton of goals, man. Marner has.
Well, I mean, in this series.
Oh, I'll tell you in a second. That's a good question. I know he has. I think he has 2 assists the other night. Let me just check it out.
I know.
I think you're right, actually, man.
His pass. Or did he score a goal? No, I think
Marner has. Yeah, 1 assist. 1 assist on Monday night there. Right.
Yeah.
Tuesday night. Sorry, Tuesday. Yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, listen, he's been phenomenal, and all the Toronto Maple Leafs fans, like Ray Han and all these other people I love, rubbing it in their face. He left Toronto, and now he's actually a good player in the playoffs. You know, the thing that the Toronto Maple Leafs didn't make this year, it's fantastic. And yeah, man, my Knicks. It's one game. It's one game last night. I almost lost my voice screaming at my television, but it's we were down by 14. I was like, eesh. I don't know. I was at an event last night. So shout out to Keon Cyrus as well. I'm had an event, so I got invited. I was there last night. So I missed the first quarter and a half. So I was listening on the way home on the radio. And I was like, all right, here we go. And I checked before I left and we were up. The game, I think I missed the first 40 minutes. So we were up and then they came back. They got a big lead in the second quarter. I think they were up by 14. And I was like, all right. I got home. I watched the last bit of the second quarter and the entire second half. And I was like, I was proud of my Knicks, man. It was like, you got to get Wemby away from the hole. That's what we did. And shout out to Cat, Carl Anthony Towns, man. Listen, Wemby's defense didn't really affect him, man. He got around Wemby, got to the hole, kept him outside with a shot. Like,
well, yeah,
I don't want to get down by 14 all the time, but
they pulled him up, and when they pulled him up, and he was able to crash the boards a lot going into that second half. They had a good adjustment. When Jim and Brunson went down, I guess you weren't watching it. So
no, I was listening. No, No, I'm listening. Yeah, I almost stopped my car, man. And driving home, I was like 5 minutes from home. And I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. I'm like, with the Knicks' luck, it's like a torn ACL or something. I have a broken ankle. I assumed the worst immediately. Immediately. When I got home, I was like, all right, he's back on the court.
Yeah,
We're good to go.
he
Nice.
had a crazy fourth quarter.
I mean, I still think it's gonna go 6, 7 games. I have my Knicks in 6 because I don't want to go back game 7 to San Antonio. But I mean, listen, these young guards, like I expect Dylan Harper to get more playing time. I don't know why he was on the bench. De'Aaron Fox is a good player, but he struggled. It is what it is. Dylan Harper has been the truth. Dylan Harper's been like the third best player for the Spurs the entire playoffs, behind Wemby and Steven Castle. And he was tearing us up last night. So I expect him to give him more PT. At the same time, Wemby had 21 points. It wasn't stat wise, he looked great, but he wasn't that great last night. He should be better. That 7 game series against Oklahoma again probably took something out of him, rightfully so. But I expect Bridges to be a little better. I expect Josh Hart. Josh Hart, listen, he only had 3 points, but he had those rebounds and that great defensive skills. Josh Hart's going to do Josh Hart things. I don't expect Jalen Brunson to have such a bad first half either. Hopefully he'll stay healthy because I think he only had about 11 points or 13 points at halftime, so he'll be better. I have faith in my Nick, but again, 1 game at a time.
Like 4-16 at halftime like that. He had a really bad stat line.
Sorry?
He was 4 for like 16 in the first half.
Yeah, he struggled. He struggled 100%, man. He struggled.
And it came down to Spurs
Hmm?
missed a lot of shots down the stretch too.
Yeah.
Up front shooting too. So I mean that was a big. I mean he scored 50 in the first half, and he scored 0 in the second half. So that was 0 points.
Yeah.
Again, give me a good series. The Spurs guards are scary when they crash the boards though.
100%. 100%. 100%. Like Champagne, man. Listen, I don't know what we were doing in that first half. We leave him open in the corner. Why? He's hitting 3. He killed OKC with that. Like, stop leaving him open. Second half, we did a great job of that. Like you said, yeah, we gotta come up with more focus. Like the Knicks won last night, and it wasn't their best game. That's also why I'm happy about it, because we played like that where we probably should have lost, and we still got the W. Again, I expect the Spurs to be better, just like I expect the Knicks to be better. Again, I'd be shocked if this doesn't go at least 6, maybe even 7 games.
Pretty good series.
All right, man. I think that does it. I think we covered pretty much almost everything. If there's anything we left out, we'll hit it up next week. Uh, Anything else you want to put in there, or you want to throw out?
No, not really. I'm trying to think of something from last week. Congratulations to all the nominees that got elected for Team Canada for the female side and the men's side. Again, you're one step closer to an Olympics, and also you're one step closer to kind of go to those. I think this year is going to be in is it Germany? Yeah, it's Germany where they yeah. So they basically they're the team that's made this year get to go to Germany, and they try to win their ticket to the Olympics for LA 2028. Yeah. So there was a decent amount of athletes that play in FPF on the women's side and also on the male side, and there's just one. I think it's just James Drysdale and Binot. Those are the two.
Yeah, Phil Farah.
Yeah, and Phil Farah. So I think there's 3, maybe there's 4. Maybe I'm missing some guys, but anyways, congratulations to those guys that play in FPF, and they kind of are taken to the next level, and they get to also go to Germany. It's experience that will never happen in a lot of people's lifetime. So just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, once in a lifetime experience, man. Take advantage of it and do your thing. Yeah, so like you said, congrats to everybody. Looking forward. 2028, it's coming fast, man. It's coming fast. Like we're already halfway done 2026, right? So 2028 is around the corner.
I also want to give a shout out. Sorry, I forgot about this. That just got announced yesterday. I want to give a shout out to U Sports. Is actually women's flag is now going to be that's announced for U Sports.
Yeah, that's big stuff, man. That's big stuff. It's I know before it was more of like a house league thing with a lot of the teams, and it's long overdue. As someone who works and does a lot of Wii Sports games, like it's long overdue, and it's exciting. Like, again, we see it all the time, right? We're here doing this podcast and a part of the biggest league in the world because the game of flag football it's never been more popular, right? So having it now for youth sports, it's supposed to be, I think, the 2027, 2028 season. That's going to be huge. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see if they're gonna get any games televised, like on TVA. Maybe that's gonna be the next step. But it just kind of shows how big women's flag is getting, and like it's to a point where if you play football, I know it's kind of funny. Back in the day when you played football, it's like, you play touch football, like, you play flag football. It wasn't a big thing. Now it's like, I play flag football for University of Montreal. Now it's like a huge thing. Recruitment, broadcasting, televised, just the exposure that all these women are finally getting to show their talent. Because again, there's so much talented women we have, especially just in Quebec. So just to kind of, for the fact that they kind of have a league, it's the fact that they're exposed from youth sports, and they're kind of more now. They're going to be more as a athletic student athlete, more to the fact where how it used to be.
Yeah, but that's 100%. Shout out to Flag Canada, right, on Football Canada, pardon me, on helping get this put on the bigger stage, right? So again, yes, I'm reading here the 2027, 28 season. So what that is doing also for youth sports is increasing the number of national championships now. So it's going to be 24 national championships and 13 for the ladies, right? So that's it's going to help expand, obviously, opportunities in sports for female players, which is obviously a great thing to see. So that's it's good for student athletes across the country. And again, like a lot of players have been getting, especially south of the border, have been getting scholarships for flag football. And we see that's starting to happen big here too, right? And this is going to open more doors and for more avenues for players, for coaches, and I'm not gonna lie, even myself too, right? Getting down the line is probably going to be calling some of these games, so I'm super excited to see that. And it's going to be a lot of fun and better late than never. So congrats to Flag Football and Football Canada as a whole, and obviously youth sports and all the athletes. Mm-hmm. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Covered a lot, actually. About Ali Reza, how long have we been recording for? 2 hours, so almost 2 hours and 15 minutes. So covered pretty much everything and then some. Again, this is a great time of the year. The CFL's back, hockey playoffs, basketball playoffs, everything's going on. Even softball World Series, south of the border and that. FPF is in full swing right now. The weather is great. I washed my car the other day for the first time since the winter. I got the rims on. I waited forever to change my tires, but the tires are on, the oil's changed. And I'm excited. The good weather's here. I'm excited.
Yeah, should be a good one.
Yeah. All right, for Quaysie, I'm Brent, saying thanks and Ali Reza as well, saying thanks for tuning in. It's been the latest episode of FlagPlus Football's First and Goal podcast. We will see you next week. Have a good one and get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather. And as always, let's go Knicks!